If they caught that, I really didn't want you to sit next to me this time. I thought you were going to give us a gap.
No, I'll give it. I'm not gonna use that one. Okay. Hi, welcome back. It's
Hi.
day 2, session 2.
I feel great. I feel ready. I feel good. I feel like our next list of guests are amazing. The companies and the brands that are going to be popping up on the live stream this afternoon.
And I hope they live up to the first guest, because we had an excellent first round of guests this morning. And so no pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure to our next guest here.
I mean, you really got to start. I mean, a live stream is pivotal. The first guest for each session is so important.
So we're hoping to bring the fire. We're hoping for some controversial topics, some fire statements.
I mean, it's like it's the seventh game. Game 7, bro.
Yeah.
You could do it. All right. We're going to bring up Running Insight, Michael Jacobson, editor. So we're going to be talking about all the dope things that Running Insight is doing. And okay,
Yeah.
so okay, he brought props. He won.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sharon.
It's not a shoe prop either, so it's something completely different.
Okay.
That's the interesting thing.
So you want to get as close as possible, and then also throw the headphones on so you can kind of hear how loud you are or are not.
Good to go.
All right. I just want to hold the pickleball paddle. I mean, there we go.
Yeah, I've never played pickleball. I don't think you have either. Have you?
Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, I haven't
either.
Okay.
I grew up playing pickleball.
I played racquetball.
Yeah,
once.
I grew up playing pickleball. In my backyard, we had 3 pickleball courts in Detroit.
You invented it.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, I don't get credited for it, but that's another story. But how you doing, Michael?
We're doing well. So the last day of a long week, but a great week. The show's 20% bigger than it has been, so it's a lot of walking. A lot of it's about a half mile from here over to the pickleball court on the other side.
Yeah, when we finished yesterday, day 1, we were walking around, and I just turned the corner, and I was like, "There's more."
Yeah,
this place is huge, and this is my first time here, so I have nothing to measure by from last year. But everybody's saying like how much bigger, how many more booths there are. This is a really fantastic event.
Yeah, it's a testament to the industry. The industry's growing, and there's so many more runners and walkers, and that's one of the themes we've heard a lot about, is that the customer of a running store is no longer just a runner.
Yeah, right.
It's I think I heard the number 60% or something of running shoes are never used for running.
Right.
And we saw that theme a lot here this week.
Yeah, I mean that is kind of funny, because we were talking to a brand yesterday. We were talking to On, who's had really great success. And I think they said 2/3 of their business is from here in the U.S. market, which is actually pretty impressive and kind of surprising. Yeah. But then you think about like how many times you go to the airport, and I think On is like the travel shoe of the world,
Right.
So there's so many different reasons why people buy running shoes, and I think that also speaks to like a testament to all the brands in here that are just making shoes that are just so good for so many different reasons.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. I were you at some of my meetings, because that's so much of what we heard, that these brands are designing not necessarily for runners all the time, and not all elite runners. Certainly focused on the runner.
Yeah.
But so much of what they sell, it's nurses and it's cops and anybody. Editors run their feet all day at trade shows. We need good sneakers too. So.
Yeah.
Nice plug for yourself there. Yeah, I mean, you gotta have some good shoes. So yeah, let's while you're holding that up for us. So tell us what Running Insight is, and then how it kind of got its feet and where it's at now.
Yeah, Running Insight is basically a news magazine for the running specialty retailer. So everybody here gets our magazine, and it's aimed at helping them do their business.
Yeah.
We've been around for 18 years now, or owned by the same company that owns the running event. So it's all linked in together here. We support the running event. There's, in here, there's 120 new products that are being around the show. So we focus on every aspect of what runs specialty retail, and a little bit of outdoor retail to specialty retailer. So it's they come to us for the information. I have some great writers. We have 5 writers running around this whole thing, fashion editors, some shoe guys who know a lot more about this industry than I do.
Yeah.
They talk about, nothing wrong with a shoe geek, and they're at home here.
Oh, right. For sure. Yeah, this is a runner's nerd paradise for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm amazed at the things we go over when we meet with these brands about drops and foam and
all the stuff, right? And all of a
Yeah.
sudden,
it's
yeah, like halfway through, you're just like you're not sure if they're speaking English or not, really.
Yeah.
so you have been in my meetings.
Yeah, I know. I've been on this podcast. It's like
Yeah.
sometimes like, hey, if you could just tell me. I mean, the cool thing is, there is that space for like to nerding out and like all the drops and the this and the that and the types of foams and all that. But it's been really cool to see each representative from the brands come up here and talk about, in that same way, but then also be able to switch over to say like, honestly, this is what we want it to feel like for this type of runner. Here's what you can expect to feel on feet. So this is a really cool space for that because each brand brings different types of people from the business. So it's like it's not just the one that only knows numbers and all the things and the percentages and stuff. It's someone that understands like how to convey that message to the buyers at the retail level and the media as well.
Yeah, and I don't know if you had retailers on the show here.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
How many times they mentioned the word community? Or,
Yes, 100%.
I think we're going to have a drinking game or something. We're never.
Well, yeah. I'm going to bow out of that one because even if it was water, I wouldn't be able to be in that one.
Yeah, because that's what it's all about with these people. I'm amazed at this industry, how much they share with each other. They have groups that get together from 20 retailers from around the country, and they just share their information. And at the education on Tuesday, that was all about was retailers talking to other retailers. In a lot of industries, you don't see that.
No.
They don't like it, very secretive, and you see that in the show here too. It's all wide open. There's no big booths with walls, and you have to get into. That's sort of indicative of this industry too.
Yeah. I think obviously the shoe companies are going to kind of protect their personal patents and whatnot, but the retailers and the not-for-profits here, they're more than willing to engage in best practices because really, as we talked about yesterday, we might see a slight increase in brick and mortar stores for some of these shoe companies or shoe stores or with specialty stores, but there's still that online component that's a danger to some of these brick and mortar stores. So I think having an event like this where specialty stores can talk about best practices in order to maintain that community vibe and keep people coming to a place where they can go to for their group runs or their activities, where maybe Tommy does an event at a Gazelle Sports or what have you. This is the kind of place that people can really kind of develop those ideas.
Oh, that's what it's all about, and I'm amazed by how much they do it. It's how open they are and all too. So,
how long have you been in the industry yourself?
About 15 years.
Why do you think? Because you've seen. So 15 years, you've seen the industry go through a few different things.
The first running boom. Well, that was the first running boom was a little before me. But,
But so like what? Why do you think, even though so many different industries, brick and mortar is kind of becoming a thing of the past, or some?
No, don't tell these guys that.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like in some other industries, it's kind of leaning that direction,
sure.
and it's or if it is the brick and mortar, it's so much different, and it's so like. Zero touch type of vibe, or like self checkout type of thing. Why is this industry different? And because like we're out talking to retailers saying like, hey, we're building, we're increasing that footprint.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's a great question, and the answer is that you look at the people who own these stores, and a lot of them were runners, and they came out here and they started a business because they were passionate about this about running, and you don't see that in a lot of places. So what they've struggled with is being retailers. And that's why, they all love running. They all love being out there. They all know about the shoes, but best business practices, going down to hiring and inventory and all that. That's what they need to learn.
Yeah.
And they have been learning it. And you're correct. There's more stores being open than closing in Run Specialty, which is not very common in retail.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So you want to talk pickleball?
Yeah, let's talk pickleball.
You might ask, what's pickleball doing here?
At first, when you brought that up, I'm thinking it was like a bidding thing, like
yeah. It all started. We were looking for something new, and it started back after the running event last year. We took a survey, and over 50% of the retailers said they either carry pickleball or would be willing to carry pickleball. Shortly after that, the PGA Golf Show down in Orlando, I found out they had a pickleball court at the show.
Oh, okay.
And I said, "Wow, we can do that." So we threw it out there, and went to a couple of vendors, and then we did a story on it in the magazine and Running Insight called "Pickle on the Side." That we found a bunch of
That
retailers.
is funny.
I'm not taking credit for that, but I will.
Yeah,
go
my,
ahead.
my writer came up with that headline. I thought it was great, so we used it.
Pickle on the side.
Yeah, because it's a side business, and they're growing it. And there's a guy in Florida has a pickleball court in his running specialty store.
Oh wow.
And another guy has, I think he had a 16-foot shoe wall of pickleball thing. So we said we'd throw it out there because there's two things about the market. You can't play pickleball in a running shoe. Okay, that's my son will tell you that because I gave him a pair of running shoes. He played pickleball and he broke his ankle.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm using that. I told him I'd throw that out
Thanks,
there for him.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, he thanked me for that.
Good parenting there.
And then all these people, so you start with that, and then all these people have to buy their stuff somewhere.
Yep.
And I asked where you buy it. They go, oh, maybe Dick's. I said, well, anybody help you there? And I said, nah, there was 2 shoes on the wall. I bought one of them. And I said, where did you buy your paddle? Dick's or somewhere online. And I said, anybody help you? No. So it just leads right to the run specialty because that's what they do. They know feet. They know the bottom of the thing, the bottom of the body. And they're a service industry where they could fit these people. It's a lot of the same customer, not the same customer, but a lot of the same guy who plays pickleball who runs. And there's an idea, something new. It doesn't take a lot of investment, as we heard at a session this morning, and it doesn't take a lot of wall space to bring it in. It just takes a little effort. But there's some money to be made, and if you're looking for something different at a running store, pickleballers, they love their product. They love to talk product, just like runners do. So.
Yeah, and I think it's a good addition to a running specialty store because, like you were saying, you've got people who could actually sit there and talk to you about the product or the shoe or the paddle or what have you. Whereas, I don't think in this market maybe a specialized pickleball store will do as well. Maybe. But if they can expand beyond what the running store has already, that's the good start. That's the way to start. So if there's interest in it, then maybe you can get your own brick and mortar pickleball store franchise.
Yeah.
But this is a good way to kind of introduce that market to the pickleballers and to runners alike.
Yeah, because there is not a brick and mortar. There's called what's it called? Pickle and I don't know. There's retail or restaurants around it and events, and they might sell it, but there are no brick and mortar.
No, and the problem with the pickleball store is people might confuse it for a restaurant. So you really gotta name that well.
And they don't know how to fit a shoe or true. That's what it's all about. So we hope it'll stick. We hope next year we'll see more, and you can bring this home to your play on your backyard courts if you like.
I obviously I have plenty, but I'll take this one. Sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's where we are. It's a great day here. We appreciate being here.
Well, how can people at home check out what Running Insight's doing and catch some of the reads and all that?
Yeah, it's funny because most of the stuff we put in the magazine, you're not going to see on the store for another 6 or 8 months.
Okay.
But they can go to runninginsight.com and then check out the magazine. A lot of people do. A lot of people think we are a consumer magazine. Do it, but all the stuff here and all the stuff you see around the show, you'll see it, a couple months on the store shelves. So. That's what we're about as a trade magazine.
All right. Well, thank you so much. You guys are doing great work in covering the event.
Yeah. This is great. We talked about, I used to do show dailies at trade shows like this, print things and everything.
Yeah.
You guys are sort of taking it to another level. So
Yeah.
not a lot of show dailies around.
No, not anymore.
We reach out. So it's all good. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And enjoy the rest of the show. We got a couple more hours here. All right, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Headphones.
Good.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
So don't be too jealous though, Gary. Okay.
No, I'm a little jealous.
Do you want to take it, Gary?
No, because I have 3 young kids, and 2 of them are going to be swinging the crap out of that.
I don't even care why you don't want to. Whatever, it's fine. That'll probably be the last time that I offer you anything.
All right, hey Tommy, are you tired? You feel a bit tired?
Yeah.
Probably use a little boost.
I feel like if there was a way that somebody could put like energy type of thing like in a packet.
Well, I can take quickly and still not like leave our seat so we can continue the conversation.
Yeah, like in a nice like sleek packaging, and maybe even distinguish like one has caffeine, one doesn't, like with black and white.
We need the caffeine one.
Yeah.
If that was available. I wonder if that is.
Yeah. Maybe even they did drink mixes. Next up is Maurten. Most of you, if you are a runner, you have heard of Maurten, and if you haven't, welcome to being from under the rock that you were under. So yeah, so we've Maurten Brian Livingston is
Come on,
here
come on.
to talk about what Maurten is doing in the space.
Look at
And
this.
he came bearing. Hopefully, these are gifts.
Now we're not. No, we're talking
Well,
props
not
here.
not get. You said we need to mitigate that 230-itis. So
Okay,
these
okay,
aren't
okay.
water bottles. These are fuel tanks.
See there,
These
That's
are fuel
fantastic.
tanks.
fuel
That's
tanks.
fantastic.
Okay, all
Fuel
right.
tanks. Thank you so
Let's-
much. I love the wordplay there.
Right, and you can see like who wore it better today. I'm a calf gel.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's your Halloween costume.
There we go.
You're the cap gel.
Okay.
All right, throw the headphones on.
Yes.
And then you'll be able to hear. All right, let's see. Move some things around here. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing great. I'm fresh, fast, and fueled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing that we said after we got off the phone call with you, we talked to everyone beforehand. As soon as we got the phone, I'm like, I think Brian is taking some of his own supply. I think he's got some caffeine going on, some caffeine gels.
100 milligrams is really like the price of entry, but I start that with a cup of coffee. And what I love about Maurten is kind of you can microdose throughout the day to get to the 200, 300 milligrams. Well, this is what really the levels are to really truly reduce fatigue.
Right. No, I hear that. I hear that.
And I'm an intense guy too. I naturally operate at a 9. I was talking to Spencer, who's from California as well. I'm from LA, so it's always 72 degrees outside and in my head.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
So like, I'd like to talk about this operating at a 9. I feel like Maurten as a company is always operating at a 9 or a 10. There's always something going on. There's always a lot of energy around the brand. What's the company culture like? You know, because I mean, what we see. It's a very sleek look and very like, you know, kind of like this is a special thing. But you guys are always moving forward, always trying to do something a little different. What's the company culture like?
Yeah, it's a great question because it's from Sweden, right?
Yeah.
And I love that you got the pronunciation right because that's the first thing that people ask is how do you actually pronounce the name? Is it Maurten? Is it Maurten?
Can you speak directly into the mic? Let everybody know how it's pronounced because I hear different ways and I feel like I've been right.
You are right. And
Thank
so
you.
it is Maurten, but when you actually look so it's a namesake, actually. It's named after a guy named Maurten. So there are Maurtens in Sweden, but and there are Martins in Sweden and there are Maurtens in Sweden as well. And Maurten is actually spelled the same way, Marten, but over the A, I learned this the other day, it's this ring above. It's called a Kreuzig, okay? You've heard of this. It's this ring, right? And it's in the Swedish alphabet. And that A is pronounced O-A-R. So it's Maurten. But when you're doing a domain name, you can't include a diacritic. You can't have a Kreuzig.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we had to sound it out. Maurten to do due diligence to his name.
All right.
So it's Maurten.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a good little piece of trivia
There you go. But it's a great segue to talk about the culture, right? So it's from Sweden, right? And it's one thing you know about the Swedes is, you know, you think about their brand aesthetic, right? Volvo, IKEA, it's basics, it's essentials. You know, Volvo's not known for, you know, speed. It's about safety and nailing that. So Maurten is very much in that same vein of go slow to go fast, right? Make sure that we're very intentional, very deliberate, very clean. That's really the core of the company. So you look at our aesthetic of, you know, black and white and then our ingredients of no flavors and neutral flavors. You know, this is really about, you know, that simplicity. And then I think the other part about Sweden that people might not know about is it's a very research focused culture. So, you know, the Nobel Peace Prize comes from Sweden.
Right.
These are thinkers, right? So Maurten is a research company. I think a lot of companies say we're really science focused, right? But Maurten is research focused. It's funny because we're right next to Nike, and I worked for Nike for the better part of 15 years. And part of the allure of working on campus is you go around and you look at everyone's cubes and they show you the shoes that are coming out in, you know, 9 months from that time. And I thought Maurten was going to be very similar to that. I would walk into headquarters in Gothenburg and see cauldrons bubbling, beakers busting, the next
wait, if it's not that,
it's guys reading papers.
Dang it.
We're reading papers on and trying to really understand what do athletes need, what are the problems that athletes are facing, and if there's a problem, we'll create a product for it. But it's the other way around from a traditional company that would create products. We're looking at problems. what are those problems? And if we can solve those problems with a product, we'll create that product. And sometimes that chain is 3 years to bring something to market, to truly like vet the efficacy. Is this really helping athletes? We don't want to just be another vitamin in vitamin water. We don't want to be the next razzmatazz cappuccino espresso burst, right? We are really just unapologetically about providing value to that athlete that doesn't just want to show up, but wants to break through in the simplest and cleanest way.
Nice. No, I mean that comes through with, like, you know, even just packaging, everything across the board. I mean, you can see a Maurten box from, you know, a mile away because of like just how clean and appealing like the aesthetic looks, to be honest. Yeah. So you know, you mentioned like 3 years of development. I think in the last year, I'm not sure when the date that you rolled it out, but can we talk about the bicarbonate system, or what's the proper name for it? Tell me what it is.
Soup,
We call it Maurten soup.
And I love that. I love that we're moving these terms back into the parlance of performance conversation again, because this is really an old wives' tale. This is a wives' tale. You know, it's in your it's in your grandma's cupboard. It's baking soda, right?
Yeah.
But we found the holy grail, because we've always known that baking soda can buffer the muscle acidity in the high intensity or anaerobic events, but it's untenable to take baking soda in its raw form, right? You can't just take a spoonful of baking soda. Your stomach will explode. It's a base, and when it interacts with acid, it makes your stomach explode, right? So we've been able to.
I don't want that to happen.
You don't want that to happen. It's been tried before, and you hear lots of athlete tales of trials and tribulations with it. But we've been able to crack the code by essentially using our hydrogel technology that we use to protect sugars from touching stomach acid to now prevent bicarbonate from touching stomach acid. So we've created a timed release system to protect that bicarbonate so that it is moving into the intestine in a very strategic way to ensure that you maintain this buffering of the muscle acidity in kind of perpetuity, right? So there's a peak to it. And so for runners in that high intensity anaerobic space, they're taking it for 800, 1500 meters to provide that race peak where they may see a 1 to 2 second gain in that. And that can be the difference from going to 15th place to a podium spot. But we also see efficacy of this technology in training too, where you can use bicarb as a way to just mitigate acid in your system. The body just doesn't like an acidic environment. So the more you can mitigate that, the better you can recover from back-to-back hard sessions. So double threshold is a really popular way of training right now. And runners want to be able to put multiple, intensity days together. So think about taking bicarb and not necessarily training harder. So, you think about a common running session of 400-meter intervals, doing maybe 16 of those. And, it's a common session of, kind of doing them in around
painful
70 to 80 second pace. The point of bicarb is not to do them in 60 second pace or 70 second pace. It's to do them at that same pace, but how much better do you recover from that session, right? You walk away from that session feeling like you didn't even do anything at all. Then you can come back the next day and do that long run at that much high, that more intense level. And then, be able to then Sunday do another long run. So just really being able to, recover better and train more effectively so that ultimately you accumulate all of that volume, you race better.
So this is a pre-workout supplement over like a during workout, like with the gel.
Correct. So we actually have developed an app along with the product to create an experience for the athlete to understand when to take the bicarb so that they can optimize their dosage.
That's great.
And this is what's great about Maurten is a platform. It's more than a technology. It's a platform where we provide services like a fuel guide that show you when to take our products and how to take our products. So I mean, we really see our competitors more as platforms like Apple and Tesla. Those are our competitors more than the traditional nutritional brands in the nutritional space. We see ourselves as really a technology platform, not just committed to providing products, but services as well.
How long, because of what sodium can do, sodium bicarbonate can do to your body, how long was the testing process to make sure that it was just right? I'm sure you're working with athletes that were like, okay, too much.
Totally.
I kind of want to know the story about the first guy.
Yeah. So there's a great Swedish term that I learned. It's called lagom, which guides their life, and it means just enough. The Swedes live with just enough, not too much, not too little, just right. And you see that in Swedish design, right? It's the Scandinavian design is just enough.
Yeah.
So we're bent on just finding that sweet spot, right? And so yeah, Maurten finds the pioneers in the space. A lot of our athletes like Kilian Jornet and Tom Evans and even some of our triathletes, Christian Blumenfeld, Flora Duffy, they've come to us and we've worked with them for several years to really try to understand how to get this right in not only just the anaerobic sports, but what we were talking about is how could this potentially apply to the ultra space as well, where we might not have the proven efficacy of it yet. We do in the anaerobic space, but we know that it can reduce perceived rate of exertion for longer based efforts. So you're right, it is a lot of sodium, and so we only recommend taking it 1 to 2 times a week. So this is not something that we do every day, right?
Okay, yeah, that's good to know.
And so it comes in a serving of 4. And so the thought process around that is it's a month's supply. So one time a week, right, for your hardest session. So find that anaerobic session that one of that day in the week, and then on the 4th week you race, right? That's what they say in the Bible. On the 4th week, you race, right? So yeah, you got 3 servings to train on, and the 4th to race on. It's kind of the mentality of how you can think about bicarb.
I got that.
That's good. That's good to know, because I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people are still kind of like figuring out what this is. They know what the gel is, they know what the bars are. This is a new product, and I think this is a good information for folks to have about the soup.
Totally. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because for us, bicarb is not really a commercial proposition for us yet. That's why we maintain it on Maurten.com primarily, so we can really control the journey of it, make sure that the customer is understanding that they're getting the right size, where they can go in and do this digital journey to find their right size and then find how to dose it, right? So we want to make sure that really athletes understand this first, and it spreads like wildfire as we move into Paris 2024. Our nirvana would be that every athlete in Paris is taking this as a way to break through.
No, I didn't think about that, but not having it out in the market is probably the smart move, because you're going to get somebody who's just going to take 1 a day or 2 a day thinking I need this, and then they're going to get sick. And we're going to have to mitigate all of that confusion, right?
So we needed to spread among athletes. We really need to stick the landing in Paris as we move into that, and really anchor ourselves with the athlete. And then I think in 2025 we'll really have a really strong understanding and vetting in the marketplace. And that also gives us time to do more studies. Again, third-party studies, not stuff that we fund, but go to universities and get more studies done in the space. And again, we're a research company, and we want our products really truly vetted before we make a buck.
That's awesome. I appreciate that.
What's this right here? This box right here. Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yes. So it's a brand.
I was hoping it was a gift for me. That's all. Sorry.
Well, so these cubes, this is what's great about working for a Swedish company. It's kind of like IKEA, right? These are all modular. You can break them down and put them together. But what they're doing is that we encourage our retailers to adopt these so that they can build modular systems that tell a story of our ecosystem. So we're trying to get ourselves out of the nutritional wall, where we're among the sea of fruit flavors and colors, right? And taking us out and putting us in a footwear wall, and putting us next to another technology. So the consumer starts to dimensionalize Maurten as a technology, not necessarily as a another nutritional product. So You know, we can be in the nutrition wall, but I think where we're really going to move the needle is with retailers really learning how to position us as a technology that's a mission critical complement to footwear and apparel. I use the acronym FAF. Footwear, apparel, and fuel. Every running retailer should be focused on how does every consumer leave my store with footwear, apparel, and fuel for that look.
Got it.
That's great.
Well, thank you so much, Brian. We could definitely keep going here, but we'd love to have you on the PR Project show once we get back settled home.
My pleasure. And yeah, we don't do handshakes. We do more 10. So you've heard of a high five.
Okay.
Can we do a more 10?
Oh no. There we
You
go.
get
There
a more
we go.
10.
There we go.
And we got a more 10. All right.
All right. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Thank you
you,
so
team.
much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Great.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
That was a lot of fun. And honestly, I learned a lot.
I did.
learned a lot about,
I thought I knew about. Honestly, I thought I knew about Maurten.
Yeah.
I know more now than I ever did before.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. The name, that was awesome.
the name, the
Find out.
soup.
The soup.
The
I
research.
think eventually we got to stop calling it the soup.
He didn't stop us.
He did not.
No,
That was nice
he
to
kind
him
of
for not.
encouraged it.
Yeah, he did actually
Yeah.
say, I'm liking this.
Yeah.
You know.
So
All right. So just
so I think if they start calling it the soup, you heard it
if
here
they start
first.
calling it the soup, I want to check.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So here we go. Next up, we have Coros. We have Kevin Robinson and Darian that are going to be joining us from Coros. What's up, guys? Come on up. I need to get out the way. Sorry, I'm stuck here.
Smooth transition.
No. I gotta be able to.
We want to feature our guests right front and center.
All right.
So
Get in.
come on in, grab a headset. So Coros watches are here. We Tommy and I are both Coros users, and so we know a little bit about the watch, but I'm sure we're going to learn a little bit more about the what's coming up. I know the Pace 3 has just been released, and there's some other advances in technology we've been talking about this week, I assume. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think talking about what's newest, the Pace 3 is definitely the newest watch that we've released as far as on the product line. It's one of our most exciting, without a doubt. It's a $229 watch that, you know, realistically for runners and triathletes, it meets the needs of, I don't know, 98% of people. I mean, Tommy, you wear the Pace 3?
Yeah, right now I have the Apex 2. I wore the Pace 3. My son has the Pace 2.
Nice.
He likes that one a lot. It was he loves watch, and I thought it was really clever though, to start as what did it start at $199 at one point?
The Pace 2 was at $199.
$199.
Pace 3 comes in at $229.
But I thought that was really clever though to at that level to start there because the watch to me, I mean, it was people would ask me what watch to get, and it was always that because of the price point. And even still at that $229, it's such a great price point for someone that just runs. You know, the Pace series is like, if you're a runner, this is what you need. That's all you need, really.
Especially because the watch, I mean, the watch and the app itself provide a lot of good technology, a lot of good information about your run, and it's lightweight. You know, I'm not disparaging other watches; they're great, but they're heavier. And this is a lightweight watch, great price point, lots of information for your runs, for the one you just had and your future runs coming up. So
it's a stellar watch for, I mean, especially your road runners, your triathletes, anybody that wants something that's going to be fast. You know, they're not going to notice it when they're wearing it throughout the day, because that's another factor of a GPS watch, is that most people, they wear it all day. You know, it's a piece of their style, it's a piece of what they're doing. So if you can wear that watch to sleep, you know, you're getting extra data, you're able to really account for the other things that are impacting your day, you know. And also on that note, one thing to segue to what we're doing, what we're excited about is, you know, we continue to do software updates to our products. And
like all the time.
All the time. That's what, like, I know it. So we never discount. And so what we do is that, you know, we want every day to be the best day to buy the watch, but we always want people to feel like they're getting value beyond that point of purchase. And so even, you know, like the Pace 2 that you're wearing, it's going to get an update within the next month that'll add heart rate variability to it. You'll have a weather widget where you can check out the weather. You'll get custom activity modes. And those are things that if you bought the watch at $200 2 years ago, the amount of updates that you've gotten in those 2 years, that's where we're trying to add the value. It's not by discounting it and running sales.
Right. I think the other thing that I've noticed about Coros, and not that I get on Facebook as much as I used to, but There's a really strong Facebook community on there, and the folks on there are very vocal about not only things that they like or don't like, but they're just mass discussion. But Coros also engages as well, even on the just to say, hey, we have an update on this coming up, and then the questions start coming in fast and furious, and your moderators are really good about like engaging with the customer on that end.
Yeah, and that's something that we've definitely focused on. I mean, the running community, the endurance community as a whole, it's so tight knit. Like, you need to make sure that you're taking care of those people, and we always say that too. We value an existing consumer far more than we're going to try and put efforts out there to attract new. Now, that's not to be said that you can't do both at the same time, but the fact of the matter is that by focusing on those people who already have the product, who are customers and are going to go out and tell their friends about it, like, Tommy went out and did a group run or ran Chicago Marathon, he's going to tell everybody about Coros because that's what he knows and that's what he wants to wear.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, and I think it's I love the part about the updates too. I mean, it feels good to know that, like, hey, well, even if sometimes I don't know what the update is, I mean, obviously I'm gonna like we're kind of programmed to receive updates from our phone, so it's nice to know that as a technology platform or a company, you all are also providing updates and looking for ways to make the watch better and fixing little things that may not even pop up for like the average runner. But it's like, hey, we want to make sure that what you're using, 5, 6, how many ever days a week, it's as good as it can possibly be.
Totally.
As I say, on top of that, I think we want an easy user experience too.
Yeah.
That's then where obviously the app comes in. That's even where the watch interface comes in, is we want that to be something that is easy to navigate, very intuitive. As you mentioned, getting those metrics and getting the data that you need, that's easy to read. I mean, on top of that, then, we have our training plans, our workouts, our training hub, which is kind of a desktop version, if you will, of the app, Coros coaches then to be able to give you further advice on that data. I mean, that's kind of where we're going to, is we want to, provide this for the athlete and for the end consumer, but we want to help you achieve something, right? I mean, we are the all-encompassing training experience, and the device is really just a part of that.
Right.
And so that's really what we want to provide too, is we want to provide that all-encompassing experience to really get you what you need, because we want you to achieve your goals. That's what we're here for. We want you to accomplish something, and we think Coros is the tool to be able to do that.
Yeah, one of the things that I thought was really cool when I first switched over and got my first Coros watch was the interface, the app. I mean, because it just, for some reason, it just like it looked appealing. It was really easy to use. And even like some of the screenshots that you take to like for social media, it sounds like kind of like petty, but some of that stuff is just so it looks good. It's very easily understood, and it's easy to manage as someone that's not like, I've been running since 2018, so I'm not like all into some of the tech words or like some of the facts and things about running. So like the way that it's explained in the app and the way that it's like shown is really easy to understand, and how to take your running to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge piece of it for everyone. And we know our phones are constantly blown up with notifications and pop-ups and everything else. And it's like, if there's one quiet experience that we want you to be able to have, it's the app. We want you to get on it. We want to get you, like Kevin said, it's to get you what you need to meet your goals. Like, at the end of the day, that's, I think, something that has really helped us gain and attract consumers and athletes in the market, is that we are hyper focused, and that hyper focus is helping people reach their goals. And there's a lot of things we always say, especially as a younger brand, like, we have to say no to 10 times more things than we say yes to. There's always opportunities. There's somebody doing something else, and there's somebody requesting this other thing. But it's like, as a brand, our goal is to say, okay, what is the need and how do we solve that problem? We're all about being solution oriented.
As I said, I was going to touch on that as well. I mean, we want to provide you those needs. I mean, we don't want to obviously just continue to innovate, but what is the purpose behind that? How can we improve that user experience? How can we improve your experience as an athlete? What do we feel that can be applied again in these software launches and things like that is going to allow you to to elevate your game as well. So that's really what we're trying to achieve.
So somebody that has a pace 2. What would be one of the main reasons that you would suggest, like, hey, think about this, the next level of the step up for the pace 3?
The pace 2 to the pace 3, really what it was a hardware refresh, among other things. So the biggest difference is going to be much improved heart rate sensor. The technology in the industry has just gotten a lot better in general. We have a new sensor in there. The satellite chipset is greatly improved, so it has dual frequency, and so dual frequency at a very high level. It's just going to be able to give you more accurate data in cities, in canyons and steep cliffs and the mountains, and so those are two of the big ones. There's a number of other ones, but I think one of the bigger notes is that we really just wanted to work on the success of the Pace 2 and why people liked it. As along with that, I'm curious only because I know that you guys have been interviewing all day and you wear Coros. What's your favorite thing? One feature if you had to pick.
Oh, like with in the watch?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I think that I mean it sounds okay. A couple things is like maybe it's not a feature, so it's gonna sound crazy.
We'll put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So I think
Here we go.
I think it's the aesthetic of the watches. We kind of talked about that, but that means a lot. Like it's not there. Even like the step up of the Apex. Like sometimes you get a step up or a better watch. It's bigger, and it kind of is like harder to. I mean, it's like it's not as visually friendly or appealing. So I like the way that both the Apex and the Pace 3 or Pace 2 look, and then also the battery life on them. To be honest, like, because I mean, it's one of those things that you don't know that you needed until like you don't have your charger and you haven't charged your watch in 6 days, and it's fine, and you can still go on your run because that's a tough thing as a runner to have to charge your watch up every single night. Because sometimes you forget, and then you get out on a run the next day, and it's like I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this run with this watch. And if my watch dies in the middle of a run, I'm not finishing that run.
The button doesn't count. Yeah,
It doesn't even count.
Yeah, days ruined.
Yeah,
for sure. So
no, but so Gary, every single time Gary finishes a run, what's the first thing you look at?
Honestly, it's the training status because I have like when I took an extended break after Chicago 2022, and my training status, and then the app, like a whole new app refresh, a whole new interface. So the training status was a very new, interaction on there, and it was way down. So this whole year, I've just been building that back up, and then when it drops down a little bit, I'm like, okay, I gotta get back out there a little bit more. It's just for me, it's like a personal challenge to get my training status back up to. Respectable for me.
I like when I stop my watch, I'll kind of like let it stay on that screen for a little bit.
Oh, I know
for a second.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking
Gary
about.
Gary stops the watch immediately.
Yes.
Like we haven't even finished like actually like running, and he's still kind of like jogging it out, and he stops it already, and then he's like 98%.
Yeah.
The running performance. 98%. And I'm like, Gary, it's fine. No, man. And I'll be like, well, mine says 101, 101%.
Yeah. I also noticed it goes, the percentages is down by 2 or 1. It goes +1, plus 2 or -2. It's never like 99%. It's like 98 or 96.
Well, really, it's really, Gary, it's just because you just incrementally were not,
I think it's because I live in a hilly area, and so I understand that the metrics are based a lot on flat running. So that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, and I mean that thread in general, like knowing the wearable tech space, I think that there's a lot of people that talk about, data's great to an extent, and it's how you use it. You don't want to work yourself up too much, but you want to pay attention to it. And I think that we try to be very intentional about how we're wording things. Like with this next update, talking about HRV, we're not going to recommend you do something. Just like with training status, we're not recommending that you do something because there's too many things involved with the tech data. There's physiological factors, there's work stress, life stress, there's travel. So you got to do what you got to do. But at the end of the day, these are all just more information. They're more data points for you to look at, like you're saying, with running performance, training status, and say, this is where I'm at and this is where I need to go.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful conference. It's almost over. You're in the home stretch. And I hope to see Coros more in the retail space as well over the next couple of years, because it definitely should be, and I'll be wearing Coros for a long time. So thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having us on.
Thank you. Yep. And if you guys accidentally were to lose 2 Coros Pace 3s, we have no idea.
If they were to show up underneath our Christmas desk here.
We had no, hey man.
Thank you guys.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, yeah, man. Coros.
I mean, I think we plugged as an ad.
That was an ad.
That
For
was
sure.
an ad for sure.
I mean, hey, I mean, I'd like
Like
to watch this.
if I'm Coros, I'm gonna get a copy of this interview and just plaster it all over the medias, the TVs.
Yeah, or yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah. I got a mailing address for that check too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
That was
Yeah.
funny.
Our new
All right, yeah, thank you so-
spokespeople, new spokespeople.
Yeah, thank you so much, Coros, for stopping by. And next we have back to the shoe side of things. This is actually going to be our first shoe company of the afternoon.
Of the afternoon.
Shoe
yeah.
brand. All right, we
Yeah.
have Salomon. Come on up, come on down, or up. It's early up. You got to hit a couple steps.
little up the steps. Yep.
Little up steps. We got Salomon. We here. Come on in here. You can sit your phone on the desk.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Because you can grab go ahead and put your shoe, put it
Yeah,
up
yeah.
front so we can
put your shoes up there so we can see them.
So the YouTubers and there's
Yeah. So how you guys doing? Yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead,
Headphones.
put your headset on and then you can hear
Microphone.
yourself.
Yeah. You can take that off if it's too far.
Yeah, and if the microphone's too far, you can
There you go. There you go. All right.
Do I look good?
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. So how's the conference going? It's almost over.
Yes.
And every time I've gone by your booth, it's busy.
Very busy.
And you guys are having all these types of meetings and showing people amazing shoes. It's going well.
Yeah, I've been putting this guy to work a lot.
Yeah, like literally we sat down with you earlier and then you said hi and then you wait for him to come in.
That's really
And then-
just my job is to like
hi.
bring him out.
Yeah,
Special guest.
I mean, hey, it's not a bad job, not a bad gig.
And
So
it's my job to come then.
Yeah. So how are you feeling? I mean, I guess Aaron, we don't really care.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I feel amazing. Still, jet lag is hitting still pretty hard, so can't sleep from 3 to 5. But I'm awake. It's good.
Where'd you come from?
France.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so this is tough. I'm 1 hour time zone difference and I feel like I may be jet lagged. I'm not sure.
Yeah, 7 is tough.
Yeah, it's tough. All right, so talk to me about what Salomon's doing right now. There's a shoe that you have that's behind the screen that I've run in and I like a lot. But tell me what's going on. Tell me what the plan is for the next year.
Yeah, I'll start. It's a very exciting year and it's been a really busy show this week. And one of the biggest things that we've been excited to talk to people about is a shoe that is actually coming out this May. So I'm actually going to let Gassian do all the big reveal of it, but it's a continuation of our road running line, specifically in our racing shoes. And we're just really psyched to get it out on the market.
Yeah. So 423 was already like a big hit for us with this shoe, the SF Anthem 2. We are super proud to bring our first super shoe to the market September 1st, 23. So on the shelf already for a couple of months. And then, yeah, we launched the SF's picture 3 years ago, 3 years of R&D behind this one, because we wanted to make the racing segment, which is super exclusive, with 100% of the shoes designed for the best athletes in the world, more inclusive and accessible to a broader range of runners. All those guys want to go for like a sub 3 hour and 30 minutes marathons, and we think deserve the best equipment. So that was the beginning of this project.
So it's almost like a companion piece to the elite racer, but it's for your everyday runner who's looking to achieve their own personal PR goals, who might not be able to use the full function of the elite racer. So it's for the everyday champion.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
So tell us about, because I mean, so if we could move that one from behind so we can see this one. So this is so this is like the one that you're talking about that's made for like the best, the best in the world to like the sub 3 marathon timing that you're assuming that like in order to get to that part has like this level of efficiency or a foot strike or something that kind of helps get to those paces.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when you think about these shoes, you think about the best 4% athletes in the world, and it's really designed for the top one. So it is super minimalistic in the way how it's built on the upper part, and then it's really adapted to their running techniques, their needs. They are super lightweight, usually like they could be tall, but usually small, and they run at 5 minutes per mile per minute pace. I'm not used to that, but 20 kilometers per hour and faster. 448 per mile per you got it. And then you put a lot of runners in these shoes, but the shoe is not stable enough for them because they run way slower and they might spend twice the amount of time in the shoes. So we decided not to bring a takedown to them, but a shoe that is built from the beginning for them, and build a shoe that is not better or worse than the super shoe for elite, but it's the best shoe as possible for this targeted audience.
So typically, what I'm hearing, typically is a shoe, a brand would have their super shoe, and then under that, then they have like a type of middle shoe. It has a plate, but maybe a little bit of a different type of plate, and it's like a step down from that elite shoe, and not only in cost, but in it's like a takedown, as you guys were saying, like a takedown in technology to make it more cost effective and make it more easily to be used on a more daily basis. So instead of, I'm assuming you'll also do that with each line, but so instead of doing that and saying like, hey, if you're not super fast, here's a lower shoe for you. You're saying, hey, like we're gonna put all the same tech, we're gonna do all the right things, but make sure it's an easier shoe for a different pace to run.
Yeah, this is perfectly described. I couldn't say it better. But yeah, like instead of having this, yeah, but like instead of having this horizontal approach where elite athletes they have the high-end models and then amateur expert they have like takedowns, either you despec or you, I don't know, cut the plate or do such things to make it more accessible and accessible. Then we start from scratch and we bring like all the premium ingredients and put it together and readapt it to the runners who are the middle of the pack runners.
All right.
Yeah, I think one of the things you talked about this morning when we met was the shoe like the Spectre, you know, for those runners who aren't running sub 3. So you designed it for like a more of a heel striker, and then the rocker is a little bit pushed backwards versus, or more forward, excuse me, versus, sorry,
the S-Lap on them too.
Yeah. That is the rocker is pushed a bit more forward or backwards. So this will help you get your foot strike to move it forward versus you're already efficient enough that your foot strike's going to hit boom and then rock and then go. Is that kind of, I believe that's part of the reason why it's the same type of shoe, but just for the different runner and a foot strike.
Yeah, it is. So in terms of ingredients, we think that these people deserve like the most premium fabrics and materials. So this is the reason why you will find the same super foam on the S-Lap Spectre as the one you will have on the S-Lap on them too. This is a PIBA foam on the top layer. So super bouncy, lightweight, and cushy. You have a carbon plate that is shaped a different way than the one you have on the S-Lap on them too. Think about the stride and the running techniques. If you are a 4-foot striker, then you need stronger angle and a more the rocker is really pushed forward on the shoe. On this shoe, the S-Lap Spectre, if you think about the more amateur runners, then they tend to be more mid-foot or rear-foot striker. So we developed a little bit more the heel part to bring more stability on this part that is more solid-stated than on the S-Lap on them too. And then in terms of rocker, the idea is that the less time you spend on the ground, the more time you spend moving forward. Yeah, because the more time you're going to have on the ground, this is a phase where you actually lose speed. So the idea is really to ease the transition. So moving the pivot point backwards, it helps transition quicker versus if it was the same at the same point than on the super shoe for the elite.
Yeah, I think that's great because like as a consumer or as a runner, it's like if I have a goal, you know, I want to break 4:30, and I've been training for it just as hard as everyone else has been doing their thing. I'm not gonna buy like this the step down version of a shoe. I'm gonna buy the one that's supposed to help me be this % faster, right? But I think that it's great that but it may not work out well as it should, and it'll feel faster than the step down version because it is better than the step down version. But you guys are trying to create something that meets that same criteria, but it's more for the person that has to be out there a little bit longer, which means also they're going to be on that. Each step is going to be a little longer, the ground contact. So I like the fact that also it looks more comfortable too. I mean, because if you're thinking about time wise, you know, like if some of these are, like you said, are meant really for like that, you know, I'm nowhere near one of the fastest people in the world. So I'm going to be out there on a marathon, maybe 30, 40, 50 minutes longer than the person that this shoe technically is kind of made for, and with them in mind, with that like almost super efficient stride. So even farther than that, like these are going to be, you know, I'm going to be uncomfortable at some point. So it's like this one is a little softer, a little more comfortable for someone that's going to be out there for a little bit longer.
Yeah. And this is the key. I think for the first quarter, maybe half of your race, you're going to benefit from the elite version, because you're going to constantly adapt to the way how the shoe is shaped, but it's going to be more demanding for you. So the more you're going to progress through the race, the more fatigue you're going to have, and then the less you're going to benefit from it. With this last picture, you're going to benefit from a super shoe throughout the entire race, from mile 1 till mile 26, technically. And the idea is really like to treat everyday athletes, because we are all athletes, the same way as we treat our elite athletes. And we think that you deserve the best to beat your PR and win your race.
I think that's really that's interesting too, because even when we go buy a shoe, we try it on, and if it's a super shoe, we spend a lot of money on it, and they only have a certain life expectancy, and so we throw it on for like a workout or like a long run or something like that.
Couple test runs.
But we're never getting to the point in that shoe where things start to really break down, and you don't really find out about a shoe really until you're fully just
22.
like done, like mile 22, 23, 24. You're just like, okay, I don't like this shoe anymore. Because everything starts to kind of fall apart. So you guys are kind of being forward thinking in that and saying, okay, well, we all break down in some way, shape, or form, and as you're out there longer, you're going to break down in a different way. So we're going to try to build a shoe that, like you said, if you were to hold the Phantasm up, the heel is much more narrow, and then the Spectre is a little wider platform. So as you break down through the marathon, you're going to have something that's going to continue to help you through it, even if you're midfoot to forefoot striker, till mile 22 in the Spectre. Eventually it's going to change a little bit and you'll have some extra help. So really someone that's running a sub 3 could run in the Spectre too, probably.
Yeah, totally. I think the job to solve that we kind of like discovered was, if someone goes into a running store, like you said, and they're like, hey, I want to qualify for Boston, or I want to break 4 hours in the marathon. Of course they want the best. They're not going to, and the chaperone's not going to say like, oh, take this takedown. There really has not been on the market a super shoe specifically designed for a person that it's going to benefit their efficiency and their strides. Gassin is very fast. So like, this is his shoe. This is your shoe. And I ran Chicago, and obviously the shoe wasn't out yet. And so what did I do? I went for the S-Lab Phantasm 2, and it was great. Just like we talked about, like, especially through the half, I really could feel it. But as I started to break down and I'm out there, ran not sub 3, but as I was out there longer, like I was working harder to try to benefit from the way this is tuned and the carbon plate and everything, where that S-Lab Spectre is going to be the shoe for me. So the way that we really like to talk about it is like, one is not better than the other. This is a shoe to win the race. This is the shoe to win your race.
I think that's great. And I think it's great that
I tried to whistle there, but it didn't come.
No, but
Can you tell them in marketing?
I think a lot of people are going to appreciate the fact that Salomon is recognized that, there needs to be different super shoes for different types of runners. And I think this is going to set probably a precedent for other companies as well. I'm guessing. I
mean, because you see the super shoe. I mean, you see the super trainers, and it's like it went from super shoe to super trainer, and then there was nothing really in between, because a lot of people are wearing the super trainers to run it because of the support and all that stuff, and it weighs much more than like the Spectre is going to, but they want that support and that comfort with that plate and that support at the same time. So thank you so much for being on the show. You guys have a whole crowd.
Thank
you so
much.
Hi. We don't really know them.
They just follow us around.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks,
and
Tommy. Thanks, Gary.
Make sure everybody go check you guys out. Is at Salomon Running.
At Salomon Running on Instagram, or at Salomon, but at Salomon Running.
Yeah. Check them out.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Talk to you soon. All right, Gary. I can't wait to put Miles on that S-Lab Spectre, to be honest.
We tested a little bit this morning, but I definitely want to get back out there and get some more miles in.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so cool. We're running right on time here. Up next, we got.
We might be getting a gymnastics performance today.
This next person is gonna do a backflip off the desk. She said before.
Off the desk, not so much off the stage, but off the desk. I hear.
All
Can't do a
right.
backflip. You know this.
No. We're gonna see. All right. So this is.
I heard challenge
Honestly,
accepted.
If you guys could move over just a tiny bit over here. There we
This
go.
is it. This is our
All right,
first,
so
first use of
this
our walls
The
here.
point of this concept of this desk and stage area was so we have that feeling of like energy behind us and all that stuff. Thank you so much, guys. Who's gonna do the backflip? I think it's her. She's got a
I'll
lot of energy.
delegate that to Annie.
Okay,
Backflip.
Annie's doing the backflip.
All right.
How you doing?
I'm great, but I feel like you two are like the Jim Walmsley endurance athletes of live hosting
I'll take
today.
it.
This
see
is
what you did there.
really impressive.
For those of you that don't know, Jim Walmsley is a HOKA athlete.
Sure is.
Yeah.
And he
sure
runs
is.
very long distances and he does it pretty fast.
He sure does.
And apparently, I think he wore a shoe that you may have up here with us.
Yeah, I mean, we're really lucky to have an athlete like Jim with us at HOKA. And I'll say this, he has a lot of amazing opinions on shoes that really help
bet.
us figure out how to build some awesome products.
I
on the
think if
trails.
you're running those kind of mileage,
Yeah.
you better have some opinions.
Yeah.
You do. And
I
you
mean,
know-
I feel like you would gather them eventually. Like if you didn't have an opinion at mile 10, you're gonna have an opinion at mile 80.
Yeah.
and his will change too. So we hear some really awesome feedback from Jim about different parts of courses like UTMB,
Yeah.
different parts of courses like Western States.
Mm-hmm.
And we get all of that feedback, we soak it up, and then it results in amazing shoes like Tecton X, Tecton X Protos, and a really awesome shoe for fall 24 called the Tecton X3.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but that makes sense that you're going to have probably different shoes for different trails.
Yeah.
You know, especially like, you know, UTMB is up in the Alps. It's snowy. Is it Alps? Am I right with that?
Yep.
So it's
Okay.
much more,
Up in the Alps,
much
but
more
it's
tactical.
snowy, it's ice versus Western States where it's more desert and
Yes.
hot and low. And like, I think you go up and then you go down or down and then up.
Da-
Or,
Yeah.
Up, down, up,
up,
down, up,
all
down,
around,
down,
you know,
down, up
get your
again.
spins.
Yeah,
Did
up
a
and
little,
around.
little more heat in Western States,
yeah.
a little bit more snow sometimes at somewhere like UTMB. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's well, how's HOKA feeling right now as a brand? I mean, I feel like I've been seeing HOKA everywhere for every different reason.
Yeah.
At the grocery store, at the marathon.
Yeah.
Had a really great addition to the family recently in the HOKA Rocket X2.
Yeah.
Which to me literally put like the other options were okay to me, but then that HOKA Rocket X2 took it from just kind of a casual shoe, maybe like it's cool, it's got a plate in it, but then jumped into
Yeah.
like this new section of like, oh, this is going to be seen close to podiums, if not full podiums.
Yeah, it's a fun shoe to
Yeah.
run in for sure.
Yeah.
It's such
Yeah.
a fun shoe. And, you know, I've been with HOKA for 2 years and have had the chance to work with a lot of our athletes in that time. And I'll
Yeah.
say the vibe now with our team on the product side and with athletes like at NAZ Elite, it's been incredible to watch that relationship blossom over the last 2 years. I mean, we started at a point where, yeah, we had amazing training shoes. We had a solid little shoe and a Rocket X. But then to have the jumps that we've had in technology to something like a Rocket X2,
Mhm.
now some of that innovation coming to life on trail as well, like the portfolio is blossoming in a really beautiful way that still feels really intuitive and like genuine to HOKA and where we came from.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're tinkers, we're problem solvers. You've seen Jean-Luc and Nico walking around the show here. They're still curious as ever, trying to figure out what's new and latest and greatest. And
Yeah.
that's something I think the product team at HOKA still takes really seriously in our approach to building shoes.
And I feel like it shows in every iteration of a shoe. It's always something. It feels like you've done a really good job in the last couple of years of excelling and like pushing things forward while trying to maintain that HOKA aesthetic but not like sacrificing the need to continue to innovate.
Yeah, it's a really fun challenge to solve as a product creation team because you come into a brand or you come into a product and you associate it maybe with one thing.
Right.
Like people think HOKA, cushioning, max stack heights. Well, yeah, that was HOKA at the beginning because that was the solution to a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
our approach now is like, what is the problem we're trying to solve? And then what's the solution for that? That's going to evolve. That's going to change with technology, with learning, with innovation, with insights from athletes. And so for us, it's really very much that mentality that our founders had of what's the problem
Yeah.
and then what's our best path to get there that feels really unique to us.
That's great. Can we talk about the shoe? Maybe bring it up front a
You
little
don't
bit?
want me
So-
just to hide it the whole
I
time?
mean, you can, but
Yeah, I mean, this is one obviously that we're really excited about, specifically because of insights from an athlete like Jim.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have someone who's out there doing what he can do on a course like UTMB,
Yeah.
and he has opinions that you feel like can benefit other people running on trails in that environment, you have to listen to it and learn
Right.
from it. So the exciting thing this year, we did so much tinkering with Jim and so much work here to figure out how can we take all of these really specific preferences
Mhm.
from that environment, from one athlete, and then figure out how we can kind of scale that and package that in a way that's going to really benefit a lot of people doing longer races on
Right,
trail.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, because you want to. I mean, obviously, you're going to sell more than just to one person. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely. And for us, you know, there were some things that he was very clear on that we
Yeah.
got to learn from. I think one of the first things that stands out here is that you're going to have a totally different upper construction than what you've seen from HOKA and something like a Tecton X previously. Jim is really big about integrated gaiters.
Okay.
He gets so annoyed anytime you have a rock or something that gets in the you know, you never want that when
No,
you're
everybody does.
in the thick of a race. And so for us, this was a huge opportunity to kind of get away from having to have an additive gaiter piece by
Yep.
doing this integrated knit gaiter
Mhm.
on the Tecton X3. Still a matrix upper, so lightweight, lets the water out, really strong and durable, some nice internal reinforcement here. And then underfoot, this is where some of the awesome magic and learnings from Jim came to life. You have top and bottom PIBA layers.
Mhm.
And then the thing I think that's always kind of set the Tecton X series apart have been the parallel carbon fiber plates.
Okay.
So typically running fast, everyone knows carbon fiber now.
Yeah.
You know, carbon fiber is not new on either the road or the trail,
Yeah.
but it is distinct in the Tecton X because you have a lateral plate and a medial plate.
Oh, interesting.
Now, how we've evolved that here for the trail is literally given the plate wings. So on the lateral side and the medial side, we're wrapping the plate
Mm.
in those zones where it wraps. It's going
Mhm.
to give you a little extra torsional control, a little more stability, helps keep the foot on the platform, and really just helps an athlete like Jim go super fast with a lot of trust on the trails.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, because I like so the split or the two plates. I mean, as opposed to like the road shoe with one solid plate underneath, is good because when you're out there and you're stepping on different terrain and rocks and doing all these different things, you can't have one continuous plate under the foot because the
Yeah.
foot needs to be able to like respond and bend to
Yeah.
the terrain.
It's a totally different environment. And
Right.
I think there's something about those technical trails, especially the amount of cutting, how aggressive that terrain is at something like UTMB. You can't have just a single plate and expect the benefit is going to work consistently
Yeah.
across all
Or
the terrain
safely,
and all
yeah.
the tan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we found that articulated kind of two-piece plate has been something really successful. That width that we've added here is something that Jim responded really well to
Mhm.
throughout testing. And we felt like that was a wonderful add that us mere mortals would enjoy on the
Yeah.
trails as well.
Yeah. So speaking to the mere mortals, like what can they expect? I mean, people that are avid trail runners and they're always trying to find a way to be outside and stay outside.
Yeah.
What things would they look at this and say, okay, this is something I need to add to my shoe collection?
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this from a very amateur trail runner here, dabbling in 50Ks and stuff for the first time. I was lucky enough to use a prototype of this shoe.
Oh, snap. And
at-
you won by a landslide.
Wow.
it was really incredible.
She didn't say no.
I got to run MCC at UTMB wearing a
Okay.
prototype of this. I did no backflips, Tommy. I'm sorry to
Ah.
disappoint.
Yet.
Yet.
Yes.
But I think the really fun thing was, even though this was really meant for that elite experience, someone running really fast, even running at a mere mortal pace, I felt the trust, I felt the responsiveness, I appreciated the debris-free construction, the traction. It was a cold, miserable, rainy, awful day
Mhm.
on the
But you
trails
had a
out
good
there.
time.
But you had a great time and you felt the trust and you had an awesome experience because of that product underfoot.
That's great. That's great. No, I have not. I've not done a trail race yet. I know I've had a. I mean, I've taken taken some HOKA out for different trail HOKA shoes out for some trail runs, but I think it's gonna happen sooner or later.
Yeah.
So for us,
Well, I mean, I ran the trail before.
I know
Gary.
Tommy ran a trail race before.
So yeah, I
I hadn't heard.
Gary's always bragging about it. I ran Broken Arrow Sky Race, the 11K, and we climbed 17 mountains in just a few miles.
It's intense.
Yeah, it's intense. So thanks Gary for always bringing that up. Yeah, I talk about it every
Mountains
time
does
I get
not
a
equal
chance.
hills.
Yeah, exactly.
But you remember like the first time you put a shoe like a Rocket X2 on?
Yeah.
right? It's like a different HOKA experience, and you feel that propulsion and you feel that bounciness, and it makes you want to go fast and do something
Right.
new. It's the same with the Tecton X3 on the trail.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're not used to going on fast
Yeah.
on the trails in particular, there's like a confidence and an experience
Yeah.
that it brings to life for you that, no, let's you channel a little bit of that, Jim.
Yeah.
A little bit of that.
No, that's great. I know when I do go out on the trails, it's nice to have a shoe that you can trust. I think the
Yeah.
first time I did a trail run at all, they were not trail shoes, and I was really apprehensive about picking up the pace or I was stepping. And then when I went back and put some trail shoes on,
Yeah.
you're right. It's just a whole other level of comfort knowing that I can probably pick it up here and go. It's kind of like having snow tires.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, I can pick it up a little bit here because I got the tools to get it done.
Well, it's all about proprioception too, right? Because in a normal road environment, you might have a little confidence just from feeling something that feels like mechanically assisting,
Yeah.
but on trails, you still need to be able to feel that environment that's beneath you in the terrain. And so it's a fun thing about those parallel carbon fiber plates, the dexterity that provides is you still get that trail experience. It's very different from a road environment.
That's great.
I mean, I all I hear is you just keep saying over and over, and maybe I'm misunderstanding you. Is that there's soon to be a PR project in HOKA collab at a race somewhere?
Sounds amazing.
Is that what you're saying?
Sounds
I mean,
amazing.
That's you keep hearing. I mean, you already have,
love
you
it.
already have our cheer squad ready and everything.
They're
so
ready.
It's actually like it's pretty crazy. Could you write Tommy Runs on there for me?
He's got
There
a
you go.
Tommy sign for you already.
Oh, he already
Yeah,
does have
yeah,
a Tommy
we're
sign for me.
prepared.
Fly, Tommy, fly. What race are we doing?
We will
That's
see,
all I'm
we will
asking
see
for.
that in the French Alps here very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Sounds
I mean, I didn't
wonderful.
even pick the race, but thanks, Gary. Yeah, let's go for it. I'll do it. I mean, I don't think 100.
Will.
I mean, let's think about it. Honestly, I don't think 100 miles is probably that tough to do all at one time.
Okay, I'm out.
I'm
out.
tapping out too.
Yep.
Have fun. We're gonna cheer for you.
All right. Well, I mean, it's just 100 miles in a row.
In a row.
Yeah, in a row.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
You're gonna be that guy that goes 99 more.
So, is that a thing? Do people have signs on the side of like these races and they'll say like you're halfway or something like that still?
That would be maybe depressing and discouraging with 50 miles to go.
We
but
were in New York doing the marathon, and I think I saw a sign that said like 19 more miles to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I think I knew that.
Yeah,
And
you're
I
counting.
guess I didn't need to know that.
I heard somebody tell me 2 miles to go, you're almost finished. I'm like, I almost stopped and said, don't
Don't do that.
So I can't
And they were-
imagine.
and
I
they
can't imagine 100-mile race, 10 miles to go. We're almost done.
it's UTMB too. It's not like you can just get a cab back to the start line. You're out there. You're out there.
That's the terrifying part for me. At mile 50, it's like, what do you do? What do you do,
You
Jack?
keep going. You keep
know?
going. Yeah.
All
Is
right.
that what happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
You're gonna
Just keep
find a
going.
way, Tommy.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I was joking. All right. So thank you. I'm just, this is my I'm joking. Thank you so much for being on the show, and we look forward to seeing what HOKA has to come in the future. And one of those, I will do a race.
Okay.
We don't need to do the 100 right away.
Okay.
I just
We
don't
heard
want
it here.
Jim to think anything weird. Like I don't want him like stepping to me like, yo, what are you trying to step on my toes for? That's what I don't want.
Yeah. That's the big concern.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
in a fight he could probably outlast.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks to you both.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you
All
so
right. So
much.
are we ready for the backflip?
Yeah. Backflip.
Imagine it in your head.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, have a good one, Becca. Yeah, man. So you're doing the 100. I'll do the
I'll
50K.
do the 100 feet. 100 meters.
Oh,
No.
100 meter race. So cool. What's
No, but I would definitely do like a trail race
yeah,
of some
no,
sort.
no,
Yeah, yeah.
honestly, I mean, I think I think road runners should do more stuff.
Yeah,
like have some fun.
it's a kind of a cross training element. You're strengthening your
Yeah.
ankles for sure.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
don't. Yeah. Just be out there safe. Watch your step. Don't hurt yourself.
Get a good trail shoe.
Yeah, get a good trail shoe.
Yeah.
And then have some fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe and maybe even do some ice racing.
Yeah, and then so that's one thing too that that I think we need to talk about more is getting out there and being safe this winter. Michigan gets
Yeah.
cold. It's like it's going to be cold from now until probably April.
Lots of ice and snow
Lots of
on
ice
the
and snow,
sidewalks and the
sidewalks.
road.
So it's like you need a brand that can help you out with that, right?
Yeah. Something with a good grip to keep you safe out there on the roads.
And sometimes you want to wear your favorite shoe and then just put something on top of it to make it easier for you to go in.
Yeah, because you got a cool shoe with a cool colorway. You got to make sure people can see it.
So we're gonna bring up we're getting a little carried away with that
Yeah.
one. We're gonna bring up Austin from Kahtoola. All right, so let's give a round of applause for Austin. There we go. There we go.
How's it going?
How's it going, man?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome to the show, Austin.
Thank you.
So we got headphones for you. We got a mic for you. And we're gonna start talking about Kahtoola right away.
Right.
So tell me. So I'm not. I mean, obviously we're from Michigan, and so we'll get into what Kahtoola does. But we have those moments where it's like it sucks to be out there. It's tough. It's dangerous. You know. I mean, unfortunately, we see that one video over and over every year of the lady slipping and hurting herself. And apparently, the record has it. She did actually hurt herself.
Yeah.
But we see that all the time, and it is scary. And then a lot of people will just go to treadmill because they're like, I ain't got time to be getting hurt. You know, I got a job, like a job. You know. So tell me what Kahtoola does, and then how a person can use this properly.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's actually funny you bring up that video because we were just talking about that the other day. I'm like, can we use this for an ad? Like, because it's kind of perfectly built for.
I mean, at this point, it should be public domain, right? Yeah.
I know, right? I don't know. We haven't figured that out yet, but yeah. So Kahtoola, we're based in Flagstaff, Arizona. We make winter traction devices and running and hiking gaiters, and so. Really, the inspiration was from our owner Danny, who had a slip and fall in the Italian Dolomites when he was on a climbing trip back when he in his 20s, and actually we're coming up on 25 years. Next year will be 25 years, and so he was inspired to make like a packable and lightweight crampon to use. So he didn't slip and fall again. And so it's just kind of expanded into more of a day-to-day use. You know, that was like an actual crampon where, they're big spikes and they really need them on really serious ice and snow.
So I'm sorry, is that the name of this? Like, is it crampon? Is that the name of the device?
So this is actually, this is the nano spikes.
Okay.
So these are, more of the day-to-day use. So the nano spikes are meant for road running and walking. So, I mean, it can be, if you're going out, like you said, in those tough conditions when it's icy and snowy, but you don't want to be on the treadmill, this is what you need, and it'll keep you upright, keep you safe, and we all need that. You don't want to be getting injured by slipping and falling.
Can I see those?
Absolutely,
yeah.
So then, what's the crampon? What is that specifically?
Yeah, so the crampon is going to just be, it's more of a full metal piece on the bottom. It's stainless steel, and those have like 1.5-inch long spikes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so those are like legit like mountaineering crampons.
Okay.
So that's actually where we started, and then that was like I said 25 years ago, and now it's expanded into a much more like user-friendly, just day-to-day use, as opposed to the crampons, which are a much more specific use.
Okay, and so you mentioned this are good for running and walking. Would you also recommend? I mean, again, it's dangerous. I'm not asking you to like tell us to do something dangerous, but if we wanted to go out there and kind of pick up the pace a little bit, would you feel comfortable doing that yourself, or do you think I'll just take it nice and easy no matter what, even with these on?
Oh yeah, no, you can definitely push it. I mean, they're meant to be run on and pushed. They're super durable. The spikes are tungsten carbide, so that's like a really really hard material. So the spikes themselves will hold up. And then they're concave a little bit, so they just engage the ice like immediately.
Okay.
I remember actually last year I had a pair on. I was walking my dog, and this woman had like 3 dogs, and they all of a sudden started pulling towards us, and I literally like took off with my dog. I was like, "Get me out of here!" And I remember like literally like sprinting away. So and it was actually that was a really good testament, even for somebody that works for the company. I was like, "Wow, that was actually really glad." He's on.
So like my question, I mean, I know you said they said tungsten carbide, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, because they're not very long. I mean, they're not like big crazy spikes or anything like that. And so these don't like, how long would one of these last? I mean, because I would assume there's some type of wear in there, right? But how long would one pair of these last?
So the spikes themselves, all are stretch-on traction, which includes the nano spikes. That we have a 2-year warranty, so at least 2 years. But I mean, we have people that will tell us they've had a pair of spikes for like 8 years, 10 years, or something. And the spikes are the material is like harder than diamonds. It's extremely durable. That's why we chose to use it. Like it's the same material that you use for like the tips of hiking poles.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I can't say exactly how long they'll last. I mean, if anything, you'd probably wear out like the harness more than you would the spikes.
Oh, wow.
Before that, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense. I get that.
Yeah, because like for us in Michigan, and I'm sure a lot of people like just everywhere that are running in colder weather places when in wintertime, it's like some places are shoveled, some spots aren't, some are icy, some aren't on a single run, and like my first inclination would be to like not run on the concrete, like, oh, it's a dry spot, like there's no ice there, so I would try to avoid that. Do I need to do that with these?
No, so that's kind of a point, or like why these are specific to roads, because and the smaller spikes and the just durability of the spikes, you don't need to take them off. You can keep them on and run in between a dry patch of pavement or road, and then just keep going. And so that's kind of that's why they're so great, because you don't have to stop and pause your run and pause your watch and all that. Nobody likes to do that.
Right. No, that's good to know, because that's been my whenever I throw on anything like that, my concern is I'm wearing these down. I'm not gonna, and it might be though I might have like a not as good a pair, so it's good to know that we can continue to use them as needed without having to
or like it's like that, it's that decision to buy it. It's like, I'm not gonna buy that, like I'm gonna use them, and I know my routes pretty well, and there's only a certain section of this that's gonna be tough, so I'm not gonna spend my money on something like that. I'll just kind of slow down a lot and be really, really careful, because I don't want to wear them down because of that thing,
Right.
And it's good to know that that's not the case with these.
Yeah, exactly. And now, like I said, that's kind of, the purpose of these. We have other spikes that, have 3 different types of stretch on traction that kind of serve their specific purposes. The nano spikes are just kind of our newest. We just remodeled them recently and kind of brought them up to par with the rest of the spikes. So, they're a great option for the winter, especially, really for anybody. I'm more of a trail runner, but, in the winter, the roads are kind of just have to be on the road sometimes. So,
Now, I haven't been over to the booth yet, but is my understanding people are able to test those out? You have an ice block of some sort over there?
Yeah. So we bring in big blocks of ice. I think it's about like 8 feet long and like 2 feet wide. So yeah, people are allowed to come up and test the spikes out. And I'm usually up there walking around showing them off.
Yeah.
But most people just ask if it's real ice, and they stop to touch it. But yeah. So if anybody wants to come by,
that's great. And so you have 3 different versions of this particular spike, you said?
Yeah, so kind of. So it's not this particular spike. So we have the nano spikes, which are more like road focused, flat surfaces for walking and running. And then we have the exo spikes, which are the same type of spikes with the tungsten carbide. They're just, you get more spikes and a little bit different design on the bottom. And those are more for trail running.
Okay.
And like hiking. And then we have the micro spikes, which most people know us for, but those are more for like steep, icy, mountainous terrain. So those have stainless steel spikes that are like
I want to go
a half inch or so.
I have to go by and check those out.
They're definitely a bit more aggressive for most people, but for
I'm not climbing up any mountains or anything. I just want to see what they look like.
Come check out the crampons too. Then you'll see all the different levels of what we got. So.
Yeah, so for someone that's like, hey, I'm interested in these, like how do you know which one is for you? I mean, like, what's the sizing? Is there like one size fits a few or something like that?
No, yeah, that's a great question. So we have a whole size run for each different type, from like extra small to extra large.
Okay.
And there's just a sizing guide. It's usually a range of like maybe 3 to 4 sizes each.
Okay.
And then it kind of depends on what type of shoe you're wearing too.
Got it.
But yeah, it'll fit any type of shoe.
Well, that's good to know, because like it's like you don't want to order the wrong one or go because I would assume like in a retail they'll probably let you just throw it on top of the shoe before you buy it.
Yeah.
We always recommend that too. That's definitely the best, because how it is with we're seeing it here at TRE, the different types of running shoes and the different stacks and the different styles. It's like so different. So if you have a really high stack shoe like a HOKA or something, or a low minimalist shoe like an Ultra, like it could it makes a big difference on the sizing for these. So definitely recommend if you can to try them out first.
So and thankfully we got ourselves a delivery of a couple of these, so I'm gonna definitely be using these I mean, I wish I didn't live in a place where I needed to do this, but unfortunately, that's where we are.
Yeah, and honestly, I'd rather use these and run outside than do the treadmill. I think you and I both like to run outdoors all year round anyway. So having something that's a bit more safe and let us get after it like we like to.
Yeah, I mean, because my biggest issue in the winter is my hands and just traction in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I'm the same way. Like, I try to avoid the treadmill as much as possible. I mean, sometimes you got to do it, but I mean,
there's some days where it's just like, you know what, it would just be better mentally and physically if I just, stayed in the house,
exactly,
stay on here today.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, thank you so much for being on. I'll definitely be giving my nano spikes a test and letting people know what's up, because I mean, I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually am.
It goes back to when we were talking about with HOKA and the trail shoes. It's nice to have that comfort in that, like in your mind that you're going to be a little bit safer out there, and you can still do what you need to do without having to worry and stuff. Because it's not even the slipping and falling and hitting your head like that lady in the video. It's slipping and falling and tearing something.
I mean,
there's so many different types of injuries we could have, and let's list them all out here. So first,
let's list them all out here. I mean, I don't know about you, man. I don't want to fall and hit my head either, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think any of us do, but no, it's true, man. I was thinking about that. We get enough overuse injuries as it is. So
right, yeah.
No need to bust an ankle or your noggin.
Yeah.
So
no ankle or noggin injuries around here. But yeah, so I appreciate that there's companies that put such care into the safety. We had a company on here, Amphipod, earlier that's lights and things like that for folks, or accessories as well, but the safety lights to make sure that we're out here safe. In winter literally is the time in most places where it's super dark early. It's dark a little longer in the mornings and darker earlier at nights. So you have to have those lights, but then also it comes with ice and snow and stuff like that. So we got to do, if you want to be outside and do all the things that you want to do all year round, some places you're just going to have to take those extra precautions. And I'm glad that we have companies that are putting such care into stuff like this.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me on. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Look forward to coming by and visiting your booth.
Yeah, Gary cannot wait to go play with the ice for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna slide on it first on my bare feet, and then we'll check out the spikes.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna kick my shoes off and get a little crazy.
So Tommy, speaking of running in comfort or just being comfortable, I think our next guest is gonna help us out with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one of those things where, like, you can never have an outfit that's too comfortable.
No, especially in these winter months, lounging around the house, just wanting to chill.
Well, dang, we weren't even supposed to come up here yet.
What?
All right, come on up.
No, you
I'm just joking. Come on.
That's how it's gonna be.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we're starting off this 15 minutes.
How are you?
How are you doing, Danielle?
Good.
All right, so headphones so you can hear, and then speak as close as possible to the mic as you can.
Okay.
All right, so we hello.
Hi.
Hello,
How are
welcome
you?
to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We have Danielle from PrAna.
Thank you.
How's it going?
It's going great. The show's amazing.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
The-
This show's amazing, or the whole show?
all.
Okay,
That too.
All.
Yeah.
All things.
It's all inclusive.
I've been following you all on Instagram,
Mhm.
following what you've been doing.
Thank you.
Loving just everything
Awesome.
about
awesome.
it. So
Well, we appreciate that. Tell all your friends to go like and follow and subscribe and all that stuff. Okay, good. Thank you
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much. All right, so tell us a little bit about PrAna, like when it started and like some of the background of the company.
So PrAna started 30 years ago
Mhm.
by Pam and Beaver. They are a couple that love to do yoga, love to climb, but couldn't quite find the right product for them.
Mhm.
They needed things that were multifunctional, that moved with who they were, and just as a lifestyle,
Mhm.
So from that has emerged PrAna, and PrAna is to take a moment, take a deep breath,
Mm.
and be present. Give yourself that moment.
Yeah.
So I love that because we're all running around, we're all crazy, but you always got to be in that moment.
Yeah.
And take that time for yourself. So for me, being able to come to the show has been amazing because for me, running is my PrAna.
Mm.
That's my time to just take my moment,
Yeah.
And be able to wear product that I love, but like I can go run and then I can go grab a coffee. I can go run and then, you know, grab my kid.
Yeah.
So we make product that is multifunctional, which is great because being who we are, like that's a lifestyle.
Right.
You know, and being able to do that, we also want to ensure that, you know, climbing and yoga and like just being outdoors and being inclusive is extremely important to PrAna. So we're a part of a lot of foundations where we bring a lot of underprivileged kids in and give them the opportunity to be able to be a part of something that they may never have been a part of before.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's just part of PrAna and who we are and who we've always been, and the sustainability factor. I mean, Pam and Beaver were making product out of their garage, like sewing products, dyeing products from like fruit, like way back in the day.
Oh
And
my
that's
gosh.
still super important to us right now. So, you know, before it became popular to be sustainable, like we were one of those up and coming brands and of the forefront of being sustainable, being fair trade. All of our product is shipped in glassine bags, or it's roll tide. So we, to this day, like nobody gets a poly bag.
No, we noticed that because you were nice enough to send us some articles, and it was just really nicely wrapped and
like the twine.
Yeah,
that was nice. I like the touch.
Yeah, so
I like that.
it's important to us so that our consumer knows that like we are thinking of the planet and where we live on a constant basis.
Kind of going back to what you were saying earlier about, you know, running is our lifestyle, you know, but Tommy and I and you, we're all, you know, we have families. So oftentimes, you know, we'll travel to a destination to run, like even like out of town just to run with friends. But then we got to get back in. But on the way home, you call your partner and you're like, what do you need from the store?
Yes.
And so, you know, it sounds like PrAna is like the kind of clothes that you can just run in and out of the store, even though you just finished running. You still look, you know.
You look cute.
You look, yeah, that's right. That's
Or
kind
you
of
look
priority.
good.
No,
I mean, you can
Gary,
look cute too.
Yeah, Gary.
I look cute.
You look cute. You look cute. Yeah.
Gary purposely sometimes just goes to the grocery store to walk around in his half tights.
I see that.
I do.
Yeah, and he's not even getting anything.
You
I
just like walking
I
around.
do a couple laps of the store, you know.
You should see him.
My kids are like, Dad, stop it. I said, well, hold on, just one more lap.
Yeah, we got everything we need, Daddy. No, let's go back around one more time.
See, that's better than mine. My kid makes fun of me for dancing in the store.
Oh no, I still get the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So is it like is the music in the store that good, or is just like I just like shopping?
I just like embarrassing my kid.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I like that. I
mean,
stand behind that.
He's got to learn at some point.
Yeah, if you're not, well, I literally like if somebody I posted something with my kid about my kid, and I was messing with him because he came out of the room with like this tightest shirt that I didn't know what it was. I could see his heartbeat, you know. And so I did a whole reel and posted it and everything. And somebody said, if you're not embarrassing your kids, you're not doing it right.
See.
I mean, they gotta,
You gotta learn. You gotta learn. So I'm wearing this specifically.
Yes, because. Wow, I thought.
No, it wasn't like a
that is
a joke.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Why is it so soft?
Yeah. What is this made
of?
This
is Modal Tencel fabrication, and it comes out spring 24. We've had such a strong response from it. Like we make it in a jogger. We make it in a hoodie. I mean, this is something like after you're done running, you need something to, you know, cool down in. Yeah. This is your getup.
I mean, like running and some of the things that we do are very difficult.
Right.
So it's like, I want to put something on after that activity that feels good.
Yeah. The thought of putting a pair of blue jeans on after a run.
Lord.
No, nobody wants to do that.
Gosh. Yeah.
Nobody.
That's offensive.
I mean, thank goodness I work where I do because I can wear comfortable products.
Yeah.
But I can also go run out and do whatever I gotta need to do too, but look good.
I got a random question. What was the first piece do you know that they made or were selling?
So one of the first pieces was actually a climbing pant.
Okay.
And so Beaver is like heavy duty into climbing, but he needed something to wear. Like he didn't need something specifically just to go climb.
Okay.
He needed something where he was like, I'm going to climb, then I'm going to go do a hike, or then I'm going to go meet so-and-so.
Yeah, I got it.
So like, it's not you know, it's not what we've found is that consumer wants something that is going to be able to be a part of their lifestyle and who they are. They don't want to buy, you know, different things for different reasons.
Right.
So, you know, so that's like, I brought a couple things.
Need help?
Let's see them.
So this is our ice flow.
Gonna have to.
Oh, you're good. All right. So this is our ice flow. It's for, and this is actually what we sent your girl.
Okay.
And so loved that she was able to put that on, but like it's a little bit of a thicker weight, but if you feel that inside,
Yeah. Oh, nice.
it's really soft. And then you've got, you know, like the full zip details, you've got the reflective tape, but you've got all things again where you can wear this, it's comfortable,
Yeah.
and you can still go out and look cute in it.
Nice.
So, and you know, we've got all these products
Here.
that, you know, you can,
Yeah, no, I'm all about looking cute.
right?
Yeah.
I know you are. I
appreciate
know
that.
you
I
are.
appreciate that.
I know you are. You know, you've got your jacket that, again, multifunctional. You can wear this with jeans.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
if you want to wear it, that's
Yeah.
fine too. Like, you know, but like it's all about like being functional and being able to wear a product that you feel good in. I got it.
You're good at that. You
Thank
got
you.
it.
So this is our sculpt. And she is new for fall 20. I've talked to them.
Okay,
like,
yeah, you gotta give it something.
But she is new for fall 24, and I love her because she's more for high impact. So you could wear her to go for a run. You can wear her to go to hot yoga. You can wear her to go like kickboxing. Like you can go chase your kid. Like, you know.
Or all three at once.
Or all three. I mean, in my case, it's all three at
Hot
once.
yoga, boxing, kid chasing.
I got a 3.5-year-old, so I'm definitely
Oh
doing.
yeah, you are hot yoga boxing.
I am
kid
literally
chasing.
doing all
Yeah.
of that at the same time.
Impressive.
So
impressive.
yeah.
And you need a brand that can keep up with it.
I do. That
Yeah.
can keep up with me and my kid.
And that's PrAna.
That's PrAna. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the product. I'm excited for the brand direction. Like we're just in a point right now where we're really excited to get back to who we are as a brand, and that is being a lifestyle brand for people that like to be active.
Yeah.
And that is whether you're running, whether you're doing hot yoga, whether you're, again, dancing in the grocery store, or that's me, just walking in the grocery store.
Yeah, I'm just treating it like a fashion runway.
What is it? What? Yeah, I was gonna say it's not really a walk. It's probably more like a strut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good way.
Do
to
you
put it.
just strut down all the aisles?
Every single one?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not even there's no method to the madness. There is no like, oh, I'll, you know.
It's mostly the pasta aisle though.
What? Dude.
I was trying to think of an appropriate one to say with
the pasta aisle. I was gonna say the freezer aisle, but I decided not to go there.
Yeah.
And then you went with pasta?
Pasta.
I was gonna go with wine, but I guess that's not
That's
appropriate.
I mean, I don't know if there's what about the canned
You know what?
what about the canned goods
Taking
aisle?
notes here. Taking notes.
Canned goods. That's probably a good
Canned
one.
goods and wine. That's the next two.
Canned goods and wine.
I like that.
You know, if you opened up a shop, so I don't know what my obsession is with randomly coming up with ideas that don't make any sense. But if you came up with a shop that was called Canned Goods and Wine,
I would go there.
yeah, wouldn't you? And if there was no canned goods or wine in there and it was something totally different, that's the piece that brings it all together.
Oh, I like that.
See, I don't know what's in the store, but
I gotta check this place out.
You got to figure out what's going on. In
you
there.
know what? It could be a clothing line. It could be like a streetwear, like canned goods and wine. Like that's like a street, like a.
Okay, you've got something.
I normally do.
No, like you really got something.
I normally do.
Like,
It's the update of the Urban Outfitters canned goods and wine.
No. This is different. This is next level. I don't want to. This is like Off-White, bro. I'm on the forefront of something here.
I like where you're going with that.
I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a really good
and it
idea.
happened right here.
We got to make note of that.
So first part, just to let you know where we are with the ideation process. We're gonna have a shoe store with no shoes on the walls when you walk in, just
Perfect.
black walls
Perfect.
in customer service. Right?
Okay. How's that gonna go?
You just walk in and you start talking.
Think Harry Potter and trying to get your wand.
Yeah, start talking,
Yeah.
figure it out. they're so nice, they're so great. Next thing you know, you sit down and then some shoes start coming. Okay, here we are. You know, because you don't want to go in there. I want that shoe. You know, like you want to come in and you got to figure this out. Let's ask you some questions. Let's treat each other like humans first. You know.
I like that.
Yeah.
We all got to figure out how to treat each other like humans. Like take a moment.
Yep, and we gotta call
Tommy.
Take a PrAna, Tommy.
Okay.
You know?
I feel like when you say take a
That's
PrAna, I close my eyes.
We do that
Okay.
at the office.
Do you guys take a PrAna before you start work?
No, we take a PrAna at 3:00.
That's the time.
Is that to get over the hump of that last couple hours?
That is the time that they have denoted where at 3 they hit the gong.
Oh yeah, the gong.
Fantastic.
We
is
have a gong. It's amazing.
We asked for a gong for the show. We didn't get a gong.
Yeah, in between sessions,
Yeah.
somebody's just to bang on the gong.
Yeah.
We'll bring ours next time.
Okay.
Awesome.
It's
You
big.
promise?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
Yeah.
legit.
And
So-
we'll put it like so it
It's
can be
big.
seen. Yeah.
It's big. But
Yeah.
like 3:00, you hit the gong.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Who gets to hit the gong? Is it take turns or
It's
is
like
you can take
rotation.
turns.
Yeah.
You can rotate. You can raise your hand for it.
Oh.
But it's amazing because you take 1 minute.
I mean, is there somebody in the office? Say their name. Is there somebody in the office that takes that a little too seriously?
Oh yeah.
Who is it? Who is it?
There's a couple of people that take
Okay.
it seriously.
They take. I mean, like they're like, chill out.
Oh, no,
you're gonna dent it.
There have been
You're
emails.
gonna dent it.
Yeah, there's been emails like, hey, Jeff hits the gong too hard.
Yes. Yeah.
Is there somebody that Danielle doesn't? It's like I can barely hear it.
Oh yeah. There's that as well. Like we're
Wow.
very serious about the gong and
The gong culture.
the
Is,
gong
is
culture
heavy.
is
there
very
an
heavy.
office gong master?
Yes, her name's Debbie.
Wow, there's a
Fantastic.
gong master. What is it like? Is it? How do you get to be the gong master? Is it like Is it like the spot on the gong where they hit?
Yes.
And is it like the sound travels? What is it?
Yeah, no, it's literally the specific spot where you hit the gong.
Yeah.
Where you can get the maximum
Sweet
amount of
spot.
sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we take a minute. And
Mm.
we take a minute. You can close your eyes. You cannot touch your keyboard. You cannot take calls. That is your minute.
What about Instagram?
Nothing.
No, I really. In all seriousness,
Nothing.
no, I really like that. It's just the way to especially at that time of day,
Yeah.
just decompress,
Yeah.
take a minute for yourself, refocus, and then close out your day. I assume. I mean, I'm sure that your workday is longer than after 5, but it's
yeah.
still you get a chance to like reset because you know you're about to end this day or at least close out the day. So I really like that.
See?
I mean, and your session started at 3. We should have had a gong.
Okay. We got to plan that for next
really
time.
dropped the ball.
I did. I'm so sorry.
But that was us
PrAna
though. We
crew,
didn't,
please don't let me go.
We didn't do our due diligence on that. We should have,
Your
You
gong,
should have done your due diligence.
Yeah.
No,
That's
no.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
the gong, your gong is welcome. You're not.
No,
Next year.
no, no, because we want to see Danielle hit the gong. And
I
that's
might
what's,
let let you, but like we've got to train you first.
Okay, I think I'm not being. I'm really good at most things that I try. So
Okay.
it'd be
We might have a gong
The first-
competition here.
first time
second.
you can be like, wow, have you done this before? I'm like, no, I haven't. So retailers. So we got a couple more minutes here.
Yes.
Retailers. You guys are nationwide.
We are
in
nationwide.
stores.
We are in stores. Yes.
How does someone go to PrAna.com
Mhm.
and find out where they can get PrAna from in person so they can touch and feel?
We have a retailer section on our own.com that will specifically take you to where our retailers are.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we are all about our wholesalers, and I've been traveling the last 6 weeks, meeting most of them,
Mm-hmm.
and just really partnering and understanding like challenges, and then also explaining where the direction of the line is going to go, and just that we're there for them. And so it's been an amazing adventure.
Nice.
For
That's
sure.
great.
Well, yeah, we're happy to have you on the show. Thank you so much for sending out some
Thank
of the goods
you.
to us.
Of course. Of
Good luck
I-
in 2024.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I will be following you all.
And we'll
I mean, not like really, but like in social media.
I mean, it
like
sounded pretty creepy.
that came out
Yeah.
I mean, it sounded
really
creepy.
bad. Can
Yeah.
we
So-
edit
You know
that
what?
out?
I need an adult. I need
know,
an adult.
Sometimes when you just like, you're like, you wish you just had left before you got to
Yeah,
that
I
point.
said anything. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see. That's a lot.
It's like
so,
when at a party, sometimes you just got to know when your time is.
Yeah,
You know, and then if you don't, then you end up
You
on
know what-
top
you know
of
what?
the table.
We could have probably used the gong right there.
we definitely
Yeah,
could
we
use
could
the
have we
gong.
could have gonged you out of here.
Yeah, yeah, but that's yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Danielle.
you for having me.
Go shop PrAna. Go find out where PrAna is at your local retailer and pull up, try things on, be comfortable, go do all the things you got to do, and take a PrAna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you. Don't take the headphones.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
thank
Don't.
you. Oh,
You
no,
got
you're
your
good.
cords.
I am.
Oh,
you're, no, I'm not.
Were you
leaving
really
you.
outstayed?
I'm not leaving
You
you.
really
now.
outstayed
Like
the
I'm here for life.
thing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, you know what, Gary? You know what, Gary? I'm upset about right now. I
It's
didn't
the gong.
bring my PrAna stuff to wear on the plane.
I know. I was thinking about that. I was literally thinking about that during the call.
Like,
or
I
during
literally
during
wanted
the call,
to-
during the interview.
I really wanted to have my PrAna gear on in the plane, but I forgot to bring it.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm just gonna have to be uncomfortable on the ride.
Everybody's gonna be uncomfortable.
Hey, if I'm uncomfortable on a plane ride, everybody else gotta be
Everybody's gonna be
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
But you know what?
local,
You know what?
local man gets kicked off the plane because he's yelling about comfortability.
There are other ways though that besides comfortable clothes to recover from a long day.
I don't know, man. I wish there was. I wish there was a brand that had like harnessed the power of nature,
Yeah.
found something that like is proven and works just to help runners, people recover from all the work that they do.
In an easily
Packaged
device form.
device, yeah. And I mean, I wish it had a cool name. I wish it had a lot of antioxidants. I wish.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, anyway, our next guest.
Too bad that doesn't exist. Next guest is Cheribundi. We got Ross, the director of partnerships and sports retail. How's it going, bro?
Good. Thanks for having me here.
Thanks for coming
All right.
on. We are in case you couldn't tell, we are fans of Cheribundi, the product. Tommy actually introduced me to it. I'm sure he learned from, I don't know if you and Tommy first met, but Tommy first introduced me to Cheribundi, and I remember I had found out at one point, and I remember specifically going to you, Tommy. I don't remember if you remember this. I could feel that I was a bit more sore after a couple of days of not, respecting the ritual of this.
Ooh,
Nice.
well, let's see what you did there.
Yeah.
If you
yeah,
guys don't know, it says respect the ritual on this side because you got to respect the ritual. You got to run, you got to do your thing, and then you got to get your Cheribundi and to help those muscles recover.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it does, I can say for me, I felt it when I didn't have it. So for me, I feel like it works. It's something I take every day. Usually they're pure, but sometimes if I want to get some extra rest, I'll do the sleep. And I think you also have immunity as well, or is that?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're really focusing in on the pure, which is just the 100% tart cherry juice, as well as the sleep. So for us, we were really born in sports and focused on working with athletes. And so for the last 10 years, and really 5 in particular, it's been a ton of fun as more people are paying attention to recovery. How do I stay injury free? How do I bounce back faster? And this is nature's perfect little tool here.
Yeah.
And so there's all these amazing studies out there about how tart cherries help reduce inflammation, about how you feel better, how it's really good for sleep. And dietitians started to pay attention to this with athletes. So now NFL teams, Major League Baseball teams, big conferences, Power 5 conferences are adding dietitians to their rosters to help the athletes really continue to progress forward. And for us, that started to be this huge catalyst of growth.
Yeah, we're starting. I mean, it's fun when you see, a major athlete or team. You see it in the background in their locker rooms or on the desk like this for press conferences and whatnot. It's like, oh, okay, they're really taking off. It's really kind of cool from my end to see.
Yeah, so it was like this, cool secret that like all the elite athletes kind of know, and they use it in college, and they're using it, before and after games. And so, 2 years ago, we also knew that we had a lot of people that were buying us online that were runners, right? We were in these 12 to 16-week training blocks. You get pretty sore. Recovery starts to really be part of the conversation. You got rollers. You got the Normatec boots.
Yeah.
You've got the Rolay. I've got every tool at home to fight knots and help recover faster. And so, right then, how do we then bring this nutrition to the running world as well? And so as a runner, for me, this challenge became really exciting. Let's go partner with some run clubs. Let's see how they like it.
Yeah.
So we started to do a couple of run club deals. They loved it. We've got, Tommy trying it for us. He and I got to meet in person last year, which was really excited here. Who was always such a big advocate for our brand, and really believed in it. And it's because of things like you said earlier, like you feel better.
Yeah.
And then you kind of notice it when you're not like, hey, I did recover a little faster the last couple of times. And so, for us, it's been really fun to get out there. Let's celebrate the sport. Let's celebrate the community. And the cool thing about the running community is like we talk to each other, right?
Yeah.
What shoes are you wearing? What nutrition are you in? Do you like that? And you try different things, right? And I think that too, products that don't work or are gimmicky, they just kind of get fizzled out because there's too many other great things, right? It's an extremely hard sport, and it becomes an extremely expensive sport for being free. So it's like, how do we
such an expensive free sport?
Yeah, it is. My wife will tell you that. I'm sure she's watching right now, going in the comments. Yeah.
So it's been a ton of fun for us. So we started to do a lot of race partnerships and showing up at events, letting people kind of know about it, letting them try it, and that has just continued to balloon and grow. And selfishly for me, this has turned into my perfect little dream job where I get to come out and talk to runners, go to a bunch of different running events. I've gotten a lot better as a runner. I'm getting to be around people that are fast. For our first race we did last year, we did a partnership with Hood to Coast. And we ended up doing the full season of races because I got excited, sent the application in early, which immediately disqualifies you. And then I just bought the full season of races. And so it's like, okay, let's go do some of these one-day races. And our CMO is like, hey, if you guys don't get top 3, what's the point? And I was like, I don't know. I've never gotten top 3 in any of these races. Yeah. So put together a fast team with Good Vibes Track Club out in LA, and we went out and just had a time. We had a ton of fun kind of celebrating, got to meet these people, really, some of them for the first time as we ran this race together up in Washington, or in Oregon. And then that just kind of started to balloon, and we started to do a little bit more of this. And so, now I'm running with faster runners. Now I'm doing track practices for the first time.
Fantastic.
I grew up as a golfer and a baseball player, so running was more of a punishment. But then as I got a little bit older, now I started to find some zen in it. I started to really enjoy it, and it became a way for me to see new places. So when I go to new cities, I like to go catch a run, see the area.
Yeah. And, that's a great way to explore too.
And so, it's been this really fun growth of getting to meet great people, getting to enjoy what we want to enjoy. And then while we're at it, hey, let's try to recover a little bit faster and do this again tomorrow,
Yeah.
So for, cause like when I first, I'm not even sure where I stumbled upon Cheribundi, and I think it was actually right around the time when, as a brand, you were trying to, kind of tinker around a little bit in the run space, because it was before the Good Vibes partnership and all that, and it was I can't remember who I talked to, but it was, I'm from New York, and who should I talk to in the area that runs? And ever since then, is like as soon as you started connecting with the community, as opposed to just doing some big budgets pitch to make everybody believe. You're literally let's get our feet on the ground, have people try this, see what they think, and then just take it from there. And now I'm seeing Cheribundi in the grocery stores.
Yeah. That was a cool moment too.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, I know that.
Yeah.
So for retailers, I mean, we're here with brands and retailers. Are you guys in retail right now and pushing for more? What's the plan to roll that out? Because I know there's a subscription model to this as well. So what's the step for the retailers?
Yeah, I mean, so for a long time we had big bottles of Cheribundi in the juice aisle of grocery stores, and we still do, and it's a very big part of our business, and it does really well. But at the same time, we've always been, a sports brand.
Yeah.
And so now a lot of people go down the juice aisle looking for their sports performance recovery.
Yeah.
And so, it's like, hey, where are they really going? Where they're going to their run stores or their local sports retailer. And so for us, it made all this sense. The best athletes in the country are using it. All the runners are using it. So it's like, hey, let's add this nutrition, this recovery to this really good nutrition set where we've got, these great brands for fuel, for endurance, for electrolyte replacement. And then we kind of come in and help round out that suite of things you need, as part of your running ritual. And so that is kind of what we're here doing, trying to get the word out, talk about it more, because our online business has exploded. Amazon has been really fun the last 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so that's something that recently started to be a lot more involved in there as well. And so it's like, we know that we have this subscription model, and that continues to grow and grow and grow, which is a lot of fun every month. It grows on Amazon. And then so it's like, hey, you know, if I'm in town or traveling, there's always something you forget, right? When you travel. So you find your local run store, you go pick up the things you need. And so it's like, hey, let's have that. And then also while we're doing it, you've got your weekly group runs. Let's celebrate some running there. We'll give some recovery out, partner in some fun ways, and really just bring the community together. I think for us, there's an authenticity about it, right? And like, how do we do this in an authentic way that doesn't feel like a commercial? Because just doesn't work in the running world, nor does that have any sustainability to it, right? Like, it's not just about being here for 6 months. Like, let's do the things that work. Let's enjoy it. Let's build some community, meet some great people, and you know, keep kind of progressing forward.
As more and more folks are realizing the value of what cherries can provide for recovery, what makes Cheribundi kind of step apart from other cherry juices or companies who are starting to provide this kind of recovery juice?
Yeah, so for us, I mean, we've always really focused in on the process and have a proprietary process to extract the most nutrients, antioxidants, anthocyanins out of the cherries. Get a little sciencey on there, but like, right, how do we get the best stuff out of this and most as possible? So there, when we do some of the testing, we always have more of those ingredients, the antioxidants in there. And it's really about how do we make this as efficient and best for sports possible. And to do that and to be the tart cherry recovery juice that pro teams, college teams, that the people are looking for, we've got to make the best product. So for us, it's all about being extremely efficacious, not cutting any corners, making sure that the products we put out there, we're excited to tell people about, but that actually work. Because if it doesn't work, what's the point, right? Like, you're just going to fizzle out anyways. There's too many other great products out there to do. So how do we kind of, you know, have this authentic product that works and really then focus in on quality? And then also, how can I make it easy for you to bring it with you, right? We had the bottles for a long time. And then we launched these concentrate pouches 2 years ago to make it easier for the sports teams to travel to away games.
Yeah, because I can have a bunch of these in my bag, and I mean, every now and then, I've given a couple to like the TSA. I mean, not given because they take it, but you know, like it's like, what are these? You know, like because they go in and look at them sometimes, see what's going on.
If you got a bunch, it'll trigger like that's a lot of liquid.
And then they put them on like, oh yeah. So it's I love traveling with them. It's super easy. Like because like you said, if you got a bottle, it's not getting through.
Yeah, but I heard somebody over at your booth talking to a prospective client saying these are TSA friendly.
Yeah,
you know,
they get through. And so the other fun thing I like to do, which was a happy accident that happened here, is in the summer I like to freeze them. So I come back from like a hot run, have a little Cheribundi popsicle, cut the top off of that thing, and that one you'll thank me for when the weather gets hot again. You come back, you just struggle through it.
I'm gonna toss one of these in my freezer when I get home and
see
what's up, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And you know, this I don't make this commercial. We got a couple more minutes, but sometimes when I'm getting a little crazy, when I'm feeling like, you know, feeling all the woes of marathon training, I'll take some sparkling water and I'll shoot one of these in there and have me a little mocktail at night.
Yeah,
you know?
that's the one I make for my mom every time she comes over. Put a little sprig of mint in there and a lime, and now we're talking.
These are also a must in my protein shakes.
Yeah.
You know, even my morning breakfast protein shake, I'll put a little Cheribundi in there just to kickstart the recovery before the day begins.
And then the sleep though. I mean,
oh man,
we're talking about comfort in a pouch, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's fun and it tastes so good.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So like
Actually, this one's actually better.
The
sleep is actually better than the.
My kids are like, hey, I'm
just having some trouble.
I'm having some trouble sleeping. Do you have any more of that cherry juice?
Oh my god! So my son runs cross country, and when he started seeing these around me taking them, and I was like, yeah, they're for recovery, you know, sore muscles and stuff like that. And then he would be like week 1 into cross country, and he's just like, Jack, can I have some straight? But I'm like, yeah, sure. And then eventually I'm like, bro, you can't. You're 13. You cannot be this sore all the time. You're not gonna be drink. I'm old. You can't drink all my cherry juice. Bro.
Well, I was listening to it might have been a Believe in the Run the other day where you're a pretty legit golfer as well.
I mean, I was at one point.
Well, it comes back, right?
Yeah,
you're gonna lose some balls in the woods, but
I mean, it'll come. It'll
he's
come
not
back.
all speed out here. He's out here.
I mean,
hitting around stuff.
You got what you got to do, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we got to get out on the links. We got to stick one of these Cheribundi like patches right on the side of the golf cart, and we got to go to work.
That's right.
Thanks so much for
Yeah.
stopping on the show. Thanks for
Gentlemen,
all that you're
thanks for
doing for
having
the
me.
space.
Appreciate it.
It's
Good
great
to see you.
catching up with
Yeah,
you.
It's been great
Until
to see
next time.
headphones. It's been great to see Cheribundi skyrocket and do very well.
Appreciate you.
We're gonna come over in later and steal a bunch of stuff from
Heck
you.
yeah, come on by.
I mean,
Steal,
obtain.
not steal. Borrow and not return. All right, man. We're coming up on the end of the live stream. We got a couple more guests that I'm really excited about. One of them, you probably know.
Yeah.
If you've run in the last little
If
bit,
you run and have Instagram
or
or
YouTube.
YouTube,
or like just the internets in general,
yeah,
you definitely know this person, and I can't bring him up here on the stage without doing this properly. Next up to the stage we have Kofuzi. Come on up here, man. So this is the thing, I record him recording, and it's fun. All right. So we got Michael Ko, also known or maybe better known as Kofuzi, the man with the master plan, the one who took over YouTube and Instagram every time he turns his phone on.
Yeah, yo, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining me. This setup is really nice.
This is legit. Like we've been super excited. Like when we first saw like the drawing of this, like the tech drawing, we're like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
So-
no, it's been great. It's been awesome. I'm one of the biggest things, like when we talked about this idea with TRE to try to get them to do this and partner with us on it, was having my friends on the live stream as well. Unfortunately, Believe in the Run was a little bit busy with other meetings, and we were able to have you on the show as well. Hopefully they crash us at any point right now. But I wanted to make sure that, like, because you guys have been coming to TRE for a while, and been documenting this experience in a really high level way, and bringing a lot of the products that can be seen sometime in the next, in the near future, showing folks what they can be excited about, and kind of giving people a glimpse on like what the running event is all about. And that was what kind of inspired me for this idea to do a live stream kind of from the event and show what brands want to talk about right now. And so thank you for joining the show, and thanks for the inspiration, which, I mean, you inspired many, but you inspired me as well.
Well, thanks. First, before we go any further, I do want to put you on blast because this set is super nice. But if you look a little bit off camera, there's nothing but coffee cups that Tommy's been drinking over there. It's like a garbage pile.
Actually, don't look under the desk.
Don't look under the- Wait, is that
Oh, it's so dirty under here.
That's scary.
You guys are so messy.
I did. I told.
Have you guys been sleeping here?
Yeah,
A little bit.
That's literally your feet are where my head is.
Just quick naps.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're up here for like 2.5 hours straight, so it gets a little weird. Like, you're just trying to like stay. The first session we did yesterday, we didn't have you didn't have anything.
No
And-
coffee, no water. Or
And
anything.
so like towards the end of it, we're like, I think we might have been like, I felt like I was at the end of a marathon.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, I should have stopped at those water stations. You know what I'm saying?
Did you guys get to see the floor at all, or no?
We walked around a little
we
bit.
walked around between sessions, and then yesterday, after the second one, we were able to walk around and meet some folks, and it's huge. Like, this is my first time here, but this is amazing. Just the whole setup in and of itself it's awesome.
Yeah, how many years in a row how many years have you been coming?
I think this is my fourth year.
So did you do like 2019?
Yeah, 2019,
21, 22,
21, 22, 23.
Okay.
So fourth
Yeah,
year.
my
Yeah.
first was 2021.
Yeah.
And then 22, 23. So
Okay.
how, like, for the fourth time here, how is this stacking up to all the rest of them so far?
This is by far the biggest one. And I also feel like this year they've gone out of the way to make it easy for media to attend it as well. No shade to any of the people that are running the running event, but it was very different in 2019. Like the first time, like asking for media credentials, like there wasn't a form.
Yeah.
Like I had to dig around and find emails and try to like convince people that I'm like a legit person, and I'm trying to actually not just trying to get a free like pass to go to the show.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I actually wanted to cover it. And so to go from that to having like this kind of setup where there's a live stream when we're broadcasting from the event is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And then like even like the exhibitors here all understand that like not only are there people to like you could sell to in terms of retailers and buyers, but there's also like ways that you can communicate beyond just the showroom floor.
Right.
When the media comes around. So that's been really great.
I mean, in the short amount of time too, just to have the culture of the running industry and the influencer industry kind of come together and realize there's a partnership here. there's something that we can both benefit from. You know, I think the TRE obviously gets it now, and then it sounds like the brands are coming around, which is good.
Yeah, and I've had many conversations about it, like all throughout the week, where it's another avenue where brands can directly talk to their consumers, but they can also talk to community leaders by engaging in social media and the people that are community leaders in those spaces as well. And so inviting us or allowing us to be in this space to cover it and then to interact with brands and have meetings that way gives us a chance to then go to our people and be like, yo guys, here's what's coming. It's really exciting. Let me tell you about it. And then that helps generate the excitement, and we can help deliver messages directly from brands to the people that they want to reach most.
Yeah, I mean, over since 2019, I mean, your platform by itself has grown in so many different ways. I mean, you're absolutely crushing it on YouTube, of course, and then Instagram is growing as well. You're on TikTok too?
No, not anymore.
No, okay, so you said forget it.
It's a lot.
I don't work over on TikTok. Like, it just does nothing ever resonates. It seems. Maybe I'm too old. I don't know. I give up.
Yeah, I don't understand what happens over there, and I don't understand like how like the stuff that does well. It's like I don't even know what this is. But, yeah. So anyway, I mean, because it's just so much different. But yeah, so your platforms, your brand has grown so much, and partly the reason why this is able to happen is because of the work that you and Believe It Run and like Run a Warehouse, even because they're media side as well. The work that you all have done in the last couple of years to legitimize this thing of reporting to the public. Without that build up and then without that like the views and the ways that people kind of tap in and are excited about this event, I mean this wouldn't be happening. So thanks for that put that lead up as well. So talk to me though, like about the beginning of make this like a little bit of an interview too. Like talk to me a little bit about the beginning of Kofuzi. Not like baby Kofuzi.
Yeah,
but
no, but like the beginning of Kofuzi, like it really came out of just I was super into running shoes.
Yeah.
And I'd kind of come back to running after a very long break. And I was already like making YouTube videos. I was watching YouTube videos. And I was like looking around and trying to research the next running shoe I wanted to buy. And there were a handful of people in the space, like Ginger Runner was in the space, and I was watching him a long time ago. My cousin Jamie was making videos. But there was like, there's still not enough people making videos about the shoes that I want to learn about. I need help understanding what are the brands doing, what do these 7 shoes mean?
Yeah.
How do I like decide which is the next one I want to buy? And so I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna start making videos too. And I didn't have a connection, I didn't have a plug, so I'm like, I can't buy all these shoes right now, so I guess I'll just start talking about the shoes I have.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of was the beginning, and I went from there.
So since the beginning of that, like how have you seen the brands change when it comes to like the footwear? Like what's exciting since like the beginning of all this to now?
I mean, I feel like the running industry in of itself has had a major shift in that time, and so I got kind of very lucky that I was already in the space at a time where the tides were changing.
Okay.
So right around then is when we started seeing carbon plated super shoes like this. The carbon plate shoe wars were starting up and heating up. And so there was all of a sudden this like renewed energy and interest in the running space and running shoes. And so I was a person that was still kind of making some videos. I wasn't huge in the space, but I was someone that a handful of people trusted in terms of my audience. And that was positioned me in a place where I can then ride the wave and kind of start talking about all these things as they became more exciting.
Yeah. So so we're here 2023, the biggest running event ever, the most brands, the most retailers, all that stuff. What do you really, what's a few things that you're really excited about that you're allowed to talk about from the conference?
All the best stuff I can't talk about yet.
Okay.
And so like there's always kind of like the secret room or the curtain behind where all like the really, really good stuff is.
Yeah.
And so I can say, generally speaking, that 2024 is going to be a really, really good year for running shoes. So that's very exciting. But other stuff that I think that I have seen, I feel like what the running industry seems to be doing, if I can kind of pick out a trend from this week, is that they're really doubling down on their effort to talk to people that might not consider themselves runners, in air quotes. And so they're trying to reach those people remind them that, you know what, you are a runner, you're out there running, you're doing your thing. And so like whether you call yourself a runner or not, we got something for you.
Yeah, we've been noticing that too. I think what earlier we had a guest on who made a super shoe for the non-elite, and that's kind of like the same vein as
I see what you did there.
Oh yeah. But it's like we know that you want to set a PR, but we know that this shoe isn't for you. But this one is, and it's got all the same great features. And I think that's kind of the same along the same vein of, you're still a runner even though you're not wearing the super expensive, super fast, whatever model of this. So I can completely see that as a trend.
And I think that not only just from specific shoe models, but maybe there are brands that themselves are coming from not necessarily straight from running, and that are getting into the running space, and they're bringing in their maybe non-traditional runners with them as they introduce running products. So I feel like there's a lot of different ways that brands are kind of approaching, like, how do we talk to this audience that's huge but also underserved.
Yeah. And so what's one of the brands that you were really excited about seeing what they had going on before you got here?
Adidas is always high on the list of things that I'm really excited to see. Asics is always high, but I always, the thing is, I get to see a lot of this stuff ahead of time already. So a lot of it, sometimes there's surprises, sometimes they're not. But those are two that are really high on the list. And then I also got to see some brands that I've never seen their shoes before. And so like, there are things that I've been curious about. Maybe I don't pick them up right away. Maybe I don't have a connection over there right away to start talking to them. And so what I'm able to do here is get a meeting with them, have them do a quick rundown of the entire lineup so I can understand it real quick. And then I can start saying, all right, well, that one, and that one, the third one, those are the three that I think my audience will be interested in. That's what I'll be interested in. So like, maybe you can send me those so I can start taking a look at those. So that's always exciting to me too.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. Cause, again, it having been my first TRE, there are a lot of brands here who make shoes that I had not been aware of. So, and they're all, if they wouldn't be here if they weren't quality stuff. So it's good to, they're getting an opportunity to show off their wares to brands and retailers and whatnot as well, and into media.
So what are you excited about for 2024 personally, like for the personal brand of Kofuzi?
For me, I'm really excited about the Olympic year. And so I'm huge into the road marathoning space, and the Olympic trials are coming up. I feel like that's going to be the race of the year to watch.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, Olympics has more prestige and the competition level is going to be higher.
Yeah.
But in terms of the people that are doing really good storytelling in social media, that are interacting with fans, that are developing their own communities and representing their brands really well, all those people are going to be in the same race at the same time.
Yeah.
And so like that race, it's going to be like front to back. Every name that's in that race, and it's going to be super exciting.
Yeah,
so,
I think that's that's what I'm looking forward to, especially the women's race.
Yeah, and I think speaking of women's, American women's running for the last 2 years has just been so exciting to see.
Well, I mean, I think it's been a little bit more than 2 years. I mean, I think earlier than before the last kind of Olympic cycle, they've just been really doing a fantastic job of connecting with their own audiences in ways that are like comfortable and native to them. And so it doesn't feel like it's forced, doesn't feel like they're trying to satisfy, some sort of contractual obligation. So they're telling their stories and being able to control the narrative. And they're doing it in a really great way. So that way, even though maybe they're only racing 2-3 times a year, they're still getting in front of you, 12, 15, 20 times in a year when they're able to tell what they want to share with the world.
Yeah. And I mean, I think because in at maybe 2020 when the last trials was, I was only a couple of years into running really, and so maybe it was maybe not enough, as much visibility. But I mean, it's coming out of that, like we like Molly Seidel literally just like blew the world apart.
Right.
And then after that, sometime like Kira D'Amato jumps in. But then I was telling, I was able to talk to Molly the other day, and was just saying that like the way that she went about telling her story or sharing, how she likes to, be. And people were trying to criticize like that she wasn't, as serious enough or something like that. But she's just like, there's no point in beating yourself up all day. Like, this is who I am. I'm gonna have fun, but I'm gonna be serious, And I feel like that a lot of people leaned into that, like, oh, we can be ourselves, and have fun on social and share our stories and all that, but then still get after it. And I think that's really kind of what helped American women's running keep growing in the eyes of the consumer of the product, basically.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and I also think that they're talking to a rapidly growing base of fans.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, enjoy women's marathoning, but I think their primary audience is going to be the other women runners that are out there, and there's so many out there.
Yeah.
And they're doing a really great job of like including them into the space of professional running, but also into the running community as well. So I mean, kudos to them that they're really helping grow the sport.
Yeah, for sure.
Agreed. Yeah, man. So thank you so much for coming on the show. I know you could probably do a better job at this. Please let the folks know where they can find Kofuzi, because you're not very prominent on the internet. Like, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube. YouTube.com/Kofuzi.
Too slow.
Yeah.
I was gonna get the influencers in the wild.
Yeah. So that's why I'm at Kofuzi on Instagram. I'm Kofuzi on YouTube. So those are the places to find me.
Actually, one more plug for you two.
Okay.
Also on Relay.
Oh
Snap!
We almost forgot.
So we got two Relay members up here. The Relay podcast. Check it out.
It is fun. So I do subscribe to the channel. It's not always these two at the same time, but the group chat you guys. I'm a fan of more of the group chat you guys have on there.
We don't care. You should like us better. We're sitting right next to you.
So anyway, Tommy's not always on there, so you can really enjoy the other episodes.
Oh, that's what you're trying to say. Okay, I get it now. Fine.
No, but check it out. Yeah, Relay.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Thank you for stopping through, man.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Is that a wrap?
Your headphones.
Is that a wrap?
Yep. All right. So
thanks everyone for coming to my show.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, welcome. Thank you for watching the Kofuzi show. All right, see you later, man. Thanks. All right, so we got one more guest and
one more wonderful
guest. We saved the best for last. And before we bring her up here, how are you feeling about this being the last one, man?
I'm excited. We've had a really good couple days. Some incredible guests, incredible conversations. Just the vibe has been really great around here. TRE's been super awesome with this. Producer Nick's been great. Audio guy has been awesome for us.
Audio, he's producer Nick and he's audio guy.
I apologize. What's your name? Andrew. Audio Andrew has been great.
Audio Andrew has been great. Producer Nick has been excellent. And co-host Gary has just been so.
I've been mid,
super mid, bro.
That's what the kids say, right? Do the kids say mid?
Yeah, we say mid.
I'm gonna ask my daughter.
I don't know. Yeah, let me know what she says about that. I wonder.
She'll say a lot.
Yeah. All right. So next up, last guest of the day, we have Palmetto Running, Tammy Zito, the general manager. Come on up. This is. Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Hey.
Good, how are you?
I'm great.
Headphones.
Put your headphones
Let's
on
do
there?
it. Let's
and then
do
get
it.
as close as possible as you can.
Alrighty.
All right.
How has TRE been for you this year?
Well, first and foremost, has anybody seen Jackie the Sloth?
No.
What?
Oh,
I
saw
saw
it on
photos.
Instagram.
I saw the photos. We never talked about it. I saw the photos on Instagram. I meant to tell Tommy about it, but we were
Literally.
I'm not really sure if I want to. I don't know if I want to see it in person.
No, you do.
Oh,
you 100%
it
want
looks
to.
awesome.
Does it?
Yeah.
It is. But I think TRE has been amazing. I think I am blown away at how far it's come from like the last couple years. I mean, you guys are sitting here and I think this is incredible. I mean, like fan out here because, it's awesome to talk about it. You have so many different people come on here and to get to know who you are, but to get to say this is our community.
Yeah. This
is who we are. And it's not about being that elite runner or that, beginning runner. It's just all of us together. And I think it's incredible that to see this elevated now.
Yeah.
So,
thank you. No, this has been this is a wonderful opportunity, and we've learned a lot. Even just sitting here, we're not experts, but we're in the running industry.
I'm an expert though.
Play an expert on TV.
Yeah, I play an expert on TV. I mean, makes me an expert.
No, but we appreciate everybody's come on, and everybody's got a unique story to tell and something to share. And we've been loving it. So, but thank you for being on, and now it's your turn to tell your story.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, we're Palmetto Running Company. We're a family-run business. We're in South Carolina. We're in Hilton Head. We're in Bluffton. If anybody's ever been there, so it's like destination, and then we have a store that's local. But we've been around for 12 years. Christian Fife, Carrie Strawn, and Rob Fife are co-owners of Palmetto Running. It's an incredible store, both of them. And I think what they have built is something that was really needed, using their platform to talk about, sustainability and what you can do to make the most out of the running industry in terms of end of life with shoes. And and I think it's incredible because that was never here, and now it's just part of the conversation. And I think it's due to them pushing the industry, and I think that's really important, because I mean, look at where we are and all these people here in their shoes everywhere, and I think that just has to be a discussion.
Yeah 100%. So what's tell me a little bit about I mean, we kind of joked about it a little bit, but like as you talk to retailers, it's all about community.
Yeah.
So like tell me about what's the community like down there, and what can people expect if they're in the area and they pull up to a store?
Yeah, to be welcome. Like 100%. I want anybody opening up that door to be like, I belong here. I don't ever want anyone to feel that they have to be anything other than who they are. So the community is amazing. And I think that we kind of cultivate that community just by, constantly being out there and making sure we're involved and lifting up the other, the other run clubs or people just trying, not about them being a part of our run club, but like, what can we do to support you? And that's kind of like that's what we do. And I think that that's what makes us stronger as a community, because we're reaching so many different communities, different run communities, and bringing everyone together and saying like, hey, we're here for you. What can we do with our voice to bring more awareness to who you are?
So what were you guys excited about? Like on the way here, what are you excited about coming to TRE?
So we're top 4 stores.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
I mean, like
that's enough right there.
You know
right?
what? Honest to God, it is.
Yeah.
It's enough for me to know that I'm sitting in a place where so many stores do things that we do and are part of the community and love the community. And, I really am. I'm like super humbled every time I even get a chance to come here. I think it's incredible because we get to establish relationships. I mean, that's where, you meet other stores, and normally, you think it would be a competition, right? You're meeting a store, but honestly, it's not even about that. It's just like, just supporting each other and being like, this is great and you're doing great. And that's what I love about the running community. Is
we
that's
were talking
who they
about
are.
that with Running Insight magazine earlier today, was that there is no real competition amongst the retailers, because it's best practices to make sure that we can keep these brick and mortar stores open. So
yeah, I think we really do complement each other, each store. So that's really what we're excited about. I mean, I get it, like top 4 store is amazing, and I will never not in my heart just feel so humbled and like grateful, and like, just that feeling of like, wow, what a community we have to notice something that we're doing. But I'm also excited to like meet different people. I mean, I was excited to come here and sit here. Are you joking me? Who gets to do that?
not a lot. I mean,
No.
there's 300 vendors here, and I think we interviewed 30 different, brands and or media,
Top
retailers.
1%.
Yeah,
So-
but I think that one of the reasons why we felt like this would be being able to do this was important, and having TRE take on this idea is to give a voice from the retailers directly. I mean, because obviously there's media coverage here, but it's mainly more about the brands and more about the shoes that people are really excited about. Maybe even some like the big apparel brands as well. But I mean, all this really is circling around what the retail space is doing. So it's really cool to have had quite a few retailers on the show to talk about what they're doing in their communities, what's important to them, when it comes to like being here at TRE and what the relationship between why it's important for the consumer to know that that it is also still important for them to go to their local retailer as opposed to just kind of clicking through a website and having it end up on the doorstep.
Yeah, I think that, ultimately when anyone walks through our door, it's just that we just need to find a solution why they're there. And we need to, that's what we care about. It's not about the dollars, and it truthfully is not in our community. It's not about that. It's about, you want to get out there and be active. Tell me what you need from me and let me help you.
Right.
And that's truly something I absolutely love to do. I mean, making sure that somebody walks in and they walk out and they're just like, I can't believe that you helped me, or
Right.
I'm able to now, walk 5 miles where I could barely even walk a quarter mile. And, I just ran my first 5K because it's incredible to me and it's inspiring and I love doing it.
That's great. No, that's good to hear. That's kind of, we were talking earlier because, Tommy and I and a group of us, we kind of run together. It's the same type of thing where we're always building each other up, making each other faster, doing the best practices recovery. I assume it's the same way where you have regular customers who are coming in, maybe, hey, I just want to be able to get out and run a mile. And next thing you know, this customer, sign up for the first marathon. It's got to be just a proud moment to see, your friends and your family be able to, or your customers, which I assume are family, right? Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's we consider everybody family.
Yeah.
That's what we want. But yeah, I mean, really, it is. I find such joy when we implemented like our Couch to 5K program, and for those customers and those runners to come back and be like, this was the best thing, and to be moved like emotionally that our program got them to complete something.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really cool. I mean, like Gary mentioned, the group that we always run with, and we do as much as we can to meet back up, to continue pushing each other and inspiring. I probably inspire Gary a lot, because he.
Gary? No.
Yeah, he's like, no.
That's not happening.
But I mean, I think it's really cool, just as on a personal level, to be able to inspire people by just doing what you're doing and having fun doing it. And people kind of look to different folks and say like, oh, like you inspired me to do something. But it must be amazing to be part of a community or like a staple of a running community. And just by caring and making sure that when people come to the store, they feel welcome, and helping people get to their next level, whether they're, trying to break 2:30 in a marathon or trying to just finish their first one. You guys are in such in this position where you can affect someone's life in a very tangible way. And I guess it's not a question, but I just think it's really cool that you have the opportunity, and it seems like you care about that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we really do, and we kind of have these values that kind of, those principles are kind of what guides us in our business, and it's making sure that everybody's welcome and finding a solution. And I think that is the main thing, is that when somebody comes in, and that's why you should go to a brick and mortar, is because they care.
Yeah.
They truly care about your community, and it really means everything that what we put out into that community now is coming back to us.
Yeah.
And to me, that's super fulfilling. I mean, you can't ask for anything more.
That's great. Let me ask you this. If I were to come out to Bluffton,
Do it. Yes, please.
is it hilly?
It's the
Bluff-
low
It sounds
country.
hilly.
Because
It
Bluffton
sounds
sounds hilly. Yeah.
It's literally the low country. There's no hills. You're below sea level. There's no hills.
Mhm.
So
Is this
like,
one of those races where it says it's flat? You get out there and they're like,
Oh yeah,
no,
it's pancake
no,
flat, and then
no,
the first
it's flat. It's completely flat. Like we have to go to the bridge to get elevation. There's like nothing.
Mhm.
So if you come, it's completely
I'll
flat.
believe it when I see it.
Yeah, then please come. Please.
Yeah.
I'm inviting you. Please come to there and run one of our races. We'd be honored for you to come.
All right, yeah, I think PR project we could try to PR in 800 meters or something like that down the flat street. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Absolutely do it.
Right from the
Yeah,
front
and
of
I'm
the
up for
store.
below sea level. I was a mile above sea level just last week, so let me try below sea level and see how
Yeah.
well I do.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think, and that's great too, because I mean, even going to different communities and really seeing what we're talking about. I mean, I feel like that you would probably you know, it would emote some kind of emotion to you too, because I think you both, I mean, you're in your own communities, and to
Right.
see what other people are doing, I think that's important. I mean, just like it is for us to visit the local store here, you know, in Austin, the
Right.
local running shop. I mean, yeah, I think it would be great. I think, you know, that's how you spread the word to get into the stores and to be more involved in the community, and you know, absolutely, please come.
100%. Okay,
Yep.
so how can people find you guys on social or online?
Yeah, so we're on Instagram. We are on, you know, we have our site, Palmetto Running Company. Please check us out. You know, it's we do a lot more than what I'm even, you know, talking about. The co-owners have co-founded the LIA, which is the Low Impact Alliance.
Oh, yep. Sorry.
And
yeah.
I think that's so important to note, because, you know, they are really making strides. But, you know, check out our site, and, you know, or if you're even in the area, come in and just talk to us. I mean, what can we do? Let us help, do whatever. But, you know, we're in South Carolina, we're in Hilton Head, we're in Bluffton. It's the Low Country. Do not expect hills when you come. And yeah, I mean, but you could definitely find us on you know, on everywhere.
Well, I hope to be in South Carolina soon, so I will definitely come check you out, check out the
I would
store
love
out,
it.
and so come say hi.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you so much
Yeah,
for joining the show.
it's a pleasure.
Like we say, we save the best for
Whoa.
last. Thank you.
And the lights are going out.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, and good luck with everything.
I
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Safe
you.
travels back.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys.
All right, Gary. All right, Gary. So it's 4:00.
4 o'clock.
It's
We
4
got
o'clock.
10 minutes.
We got 10 minutes
10 minutes
to
to
ramble.
swear as much as we want.
I really think you should shut the front door.
Oh, you know what? I'm not even. My mind is not even
We're
good
not
enough
even there.
to
You
try
can't
and
even bleep
fake
it
that.
out. Yeah. All
Because
right.
I
so-
will slip. I will
Yeah.
slip really bad.
All right, so first off, I want to say thank you so much to the running event for having PR Project here in Austin, Texas, the running event 2023, and building this beautiful space for us. Well, first hearing the idea and the concept, and helping or allowing us to help them put this whole thing together.
I mean, I remember the pitch meeting. We were on that call. It was excitement right away from TRE,
Yeah.
and then they just ran with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, this is a beautiful set. Janae and Christina and Julie and the whole team have been just awesome from day one, and kind of let us do our own thing without having to no notes really.
Yeah.
Which we really
They're
appreciate.
like literally no notes. No, they didn't. They just told us 10 minutes before the thing started to not drop it, too many bad words. So
No,
like
so
they really gave us a lot of leeway here.
We had
which is great.
one swear the whole time.
And it wasn't even
It
by
wasn't
us.
even by us. Yeah. I mean, I think your mom would be proud of me.
Oh, yeah, she's definitely proud of you
Yeah.
because you know she knows you're a bad guy.
Yeah.
But
I was swearing like a sailor in front of your mom in New York, and she let me know.
well, it was because of New York, the New York vibe. But it kind of inspires some potty mouth language.
Yeah.
But
Thank you to Spencer as well. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Spencer. Thank you so much, Outside PR, for helping us out this whole time, and then making sure that this whole thing could happen. Shout out again to the running event for putting this all together.
Thank you to Andrew helping us with the sound and the AV.
Audio Andrew. Shout out to producer Nick over there.
Nick.
And then thank you to you for watching the live stream. Make sure if you liked any parts of this, you share it with a friend. Make sure you subscribe to the Running Events YouTube channel as well. Follow them on Instagram. Follow the PR Project on Instagram. It's at the.pr.project at Instagram.
Yep.
Follow Tommy Runs on Instagram, and follow Gary as a runner on IG.
Yep. And one more thing, thank you to Mountain Coast for keeping it down over there.
Yeah,
and not being
you
so
guys,
distraction.
you guys, yeah. So Mountain Coast was not on the show, but they're very much a part of the show.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Mountain Coast folks over there. They're packing up their shoes, and they're doing it so quietly.
Is it mountaincoast.com?
Go check out mountaincoast.com.
Check out Brand Asset Partners as well across from us as well.
Oh no, you got to give us all shoes if we're gonna put it on the live.
Okay.
All right. So this is the Mountain Coast shoe. There we go. Oh,
These are nice.
Oh, I like them on the hand. Okay, well, yeah, we can't do this, and we can, but all right. So
But thank you so
shout
much
out
to Mountain Coast.
You guys are all awesome. Brand Asset Partners. We got Antipes and everybody else. Thank you so much. Check us out. If you really want us to do this again next year, let the running event know.
Yes.
Over and out.
Thank you.
That's a wrap.